What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, January 14th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. What a fantastic day we had yesterday to get rolling. Winners right across the board. Taint cashed. Ron Crawford cashed both his spreadsheet plays. Jose cashed his parlay. Everybody was cashing. Dutch Boy Fresh goes 3-1. Maxwell Smart goes 5-2 plus 2.8 units. I started off spectacularly well in NHL, cashing the Sabres first period plus 215 and the Kraken first period plus 167. The Lightning scored with 9 seconds left in the first I mean, it was just going to be a push, but to hurt the Canucks first period. And overall, because of my going for the Islanders on the -1.5 and the Red Wings losing, it was only plus 0.82 units in NHL. So not as good as I kind of felt like it was going. And when the Devils pulled a goalie with over 2 minutes left, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in business here for a giant night. Cash Pelicans first half and full game very easily. Got cold feet on the Bucks. Very important to note and to see what's succeeding. And for Dutch Boy Fresh, it was showing no fear. The Sharps were on the Timberwolves. The Sharps were on the Warriors, and he stuck with the Bucks first half. I got cold feet on the Bucks, and he had no fear going up against the Sharps with the Grizzlies, and he was richly rewarded for that. But winners right across the board from all of us yesterday, and that feels very good, and we have to keep that rolling. One day does not a season make, but I don't remember us just completely winning, every one of us, quite like we did yesterday in our first day back, and it feels very good, and it inspires us to do better, try harder, work harder, get that cash. Can't wait to break into this big card. We got Derl back in action. We got Max, and Max was one who wanted to try this new idea with you guys pitching out the games, and then he goes 5-2 plus 2.8 units doing it. There's Dan Kelly in the house with a great day himself, 4-1 with a 5-2 money line winner. Great job. Great job, Dan. We're just working together to defeat the juice. Absolutely beautiful. Kent Davies rocking and rolling right now. And okay. Jose's got some NFL action for us at the end of the show. I'm excited to hear that. I still have yet to move. The market's not moving at all in NFL. I've got an apartment that's still dealing with COVID, and same with our apartment down on the 5th floor is still dealing with COVID. And I've been a little hesitant to pull the trigger, but market's not moving. Doesn't seem to be hurting me. Dan Kelly says, still working on a second half line formula. Still looking for help. It's a function of the implied second half line, full game line minus first half line, and the straight up and ATS score differential at halftime. But it's variable depending on the size of the difference. So we got Dan Kelly working it out in front of us, which is so much fun to watch cappers work things out in front of us. I love it. There's Xcel in the house. He's been white hot of late. Sammy Calmer ready to get to work. Viper, Rob Garvey, Matty Ice, great call on Stanford. Danny Lopez, puzzler ready to go. We got Mikey P, Jansen Bonds, and hit a 10-teamer. A 10-teamer yesterday. North Ender says a legendary call saying Aaron Derl was going to have a good game and taking Sabres first period. You know what? It was fortunate that it went my way yesterday. But you spend years with these players, and if a team says to Aaron Derl, "Look, you're our guy. You lead us to glory," he can't do it. But there's a reason why he's had jobs for 10, 12 years. And when your goaltenders are decimated with injuries and there's nowhere else to look but Aaron Derl, so you're not choosing Aaron Derl, you're saying, we are so fucked that we have to put you in net, Aaron. That's when he always seems to step up. But it was fortunate that it went my way. Thank you, North Ender. T in the house. Penny Bombs ready to get to work. Shea with the points. Jackson rebounds. Giannis rebounds. Middleton threes yesterday. Only one that missed was Jaren Jackson by one. Penny Bombs. Absolutely great work. It was just us cashing right across the board. Turnsy in the house. Turnsy cashed with the Kraken. Slatsy, my man, Mikey P in the house. Don't forget, we have the big Razor Sharp Picks horse racing show. It's Friday nights now. I don't know if I'm quite healthy enough to. I'm certainly not healthy enough to, hammer back drinks with you guys on Friday. I want to so badly. I want to so badly. There's Turns. He turns 30 years old tomorrow. Says I'll be drunk for the next 2 days. There's Ulysses Hayes. Turnsy, I will give you a shout out tomorrow for your 30th birthday. My 30s were better than my 20s. My first half of my 20s were glorious, but 25 to 30 was a nice wake up call for how difficult life is going to be. Thank you. All right, Spenny Penny Bombs looking at Tatum and Jaylen Brown props, Joel Embiid, Gordon Hayward. I'm going to copy and paste all of this so I have it here. Let's grab it here. I'd like to know what Spenny Penny Bombs is on. Copy and paste that. Thank you for sharing that with us. Spenny, I'm going to just have that above my NBA breakdown. I can't wait to break down this 9-game card with Derl. It's funny, Derl has Fridays with us and other days. We want more and more of them, but Fridays are these huge NBA cards, huge NBA cards, and 9 games is almost like a relief. We've had 12 games often, so a lot of love coming out for Turnsy. Okay, let's get to work, you guys. There's Dutch Boy Fresh. Dutch, you were as good as I've ever seen you yesterday with your breakdowns. Confident, sharp, fearless, and cash. And you would have cashed the Portis prop if that game was on the line. 20 points, 7 boards. He was excellent, but they just didn't need him. So that was tough luck. But you were so good. Jimmy Gomez giving our love. There's Wine Time Sports. Okay, time to get to work. Thank you guys so much for rolling with us. A huge day. Seamus, ignoramus. Okay, let's go. There's Nut Flush Allen, and Pistol Pete Loshak would always talk about listening, because we can, we're going to get better and better and better. You look at a capper like Dan Kelly, who's just so advanced and been in the game for so long and succeeded for so long with this, database that he's taken 40 years to build, and he's still working. We watch him work in the chat. He's still striving to improve day in and day out, and that's what we all do together. All right, and there's Maxwell Smart in the house coming off a huge day himself. So all right, so let's just say it one more time, because we know the losses hurt more than the winners. They do. Yesterday felt really It felt really, 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 really good. We were all very good. We all got paid. And it just feels so good. Now let's move on. All right, we're going to start with NHL. We have a 3-game card, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how to bet the Coyotes here. Dennis Garcia says, Vancouver Rats, have you ever seen a team with worse finishing ability? Chance after chance wasted yesterday. Look, Florida and Tampa are very, very tough hockey teams. And, when you're rolling the way the Canucks are rolling, you don't want a 10-day break because the government's a bunch of pussies. So a lot of things sort of working against them. And then exactly like I said, the NHL's come out and said, look, Quebec's not getting a hockey team. And that's because our government is such bullshit. Paulie Walnuts in the house. All right, let's go. Dallas Stars 18-13-2, 4-10-1 on the road at Florida Panthers 24-7-5. As per usual, the site that we've been using for years for our line movements has been down all day. See if it is still down. It is down. So that's going to make things a little trickier. I guess when we get into, the market moves don't play a big role in NHL. They play a big role in NBA, and I'll bring up a different site. For once we get into to NBA. But let's just go here, and I'll just use what Bet365 has right now for NHL lines. We have the Stars at plus 175 and this total at 6.5. I was curious if they were going to drop a 6.5 for us, or if it was going to be a very juiced 6. It was a 6.5 at minus 110. There's been a 10-cent move to the under. Also with this Stars Panthers, remember, the Panthers are coming off. When did they lose? They won 5 of 6 here. 6 win in 7 games, 5-2 at home over Vancouver on Tuesday night. Their last loss was Thursday, January 6th, in a 6-5 shootout against these very Stars. But let's start the way we usually handle things. These Stars have been bad on the road all year long. 4-10-1 on the road. And the Panthers are the best home team in the NHL, 19-3-0. We're at Florida Live Arena in Sunrise, Florida. We have Jack Odinger, 9-2-0, 2.20 goals against average, 923 save percentage. I think he's the best goaltender in the Dallas Stars uniform. I'm not high on Holtby, and now Holtby has COVID, so he's out. Bobrovsky has stepped up for the first time since signing that enormous contract. Thank God for Florida Panthers fans. 17-3-3, 2.55 goals against average, 919 save percentage, no shutouts. Dallas's power play 30.2% and penalty killing 80.6%. You guys know how high I am on them. To think that Radulov would be this bad, now he's out with COVID, and even Gurianov to be disappointing. And then, and for me to still have such belief in them, and I'll break that down a little bit more. There's Guillermo Zertucci in the house. By the way, Matty Ice says Michigan has the bigs to battle with Illinois, and this COVID break came at a great time for them. I hate Michigan, but I like money. Plus 9.5 is too much. That's not taint yet, I don't believe. Let me just copy and paste that so we can talk to Max about that. Copy and paste that right here. And get that here under college basketball, under the 5-2 plus 2.8 unit day for our Maxwell Smart. Okay, so let's go back to this spot here. Okay, so Radulov, Gurianov, Holtby out with COVID. Radulov, so disappointing this year. 1 goal, 11 assists. 1 goal in 31 games, and he's a minus 14. We know what happens when Radulov whines and sulks. He goes back to Russia. We saw that when he was with Nashville. So, God, he's such an important part of the hockey team. And if he's going to be shit, minus 14 and 1 goal in 31 games, I don't know how they're going to fulfill some of the hopes that I have for this hockey team. But the line of Joe Pavelski, Jason Robertson, and Roope Hintz is so good. Pavelski was in on all 5 goals in their 5-2 win over Seattle. 37 years old, little Joe Pavelski. Doug Wilson, you're a terrible general manager. You're an absolutely terrible general manager. You stick with Joe Thornton. You keep these guys around for way too long, but you let little Joe Pavelski, the heart and soul of your hockey team, leave. And what happens then? Your team is shit. You don't make the playoffs, and you should be fired. I don't know how you still have your fucking job. Pavelski, 37 years old, 15 goals, 20 assists, 35 points. And I think it's in 32 games or 33 games. He's a plus 12, and he creates accountability. Ever since he went over there, Ben and Sagan have been out of trouble and accountable. Robertson is a monster. Too bad we don't get to see him on USA. I could just imagine him on that big ice. Filipino, the third NHLer for Filipino descent. His mother's Filipino, his dad is Scottish. Matt Dumba, Tim Stapleton are the other Filipinos that have played in the NHL. Look at these numbers for Robertson. God, he's so talented. 13 goals, 19 assists, 32 points in 27 games played, also a plus 12. And Roope Hintz, Slatty and I both have Roope Hintz in the hockey pool. I'm going to win my hockey pool. I'm in second right now, but my team is a juggernaut. It's not going to pay that much, about like $700 or whatever, but it's more about just winning. He's recovered from a very slow start. He had a very, very slow start, and obviously Robertson had the shoulder injury earlier in the year. Heiskanen, one of the best defensemen in the NHL, Klingberg and Ryan Suter help enormously. In saying all that, look, it's Dallas or no bet. There's Mr. Gokster in the house. Gokster, we love you so much. Gokster is dealing with the death of his grandmother right now, whom he was very close with, and what a life she lived. 95 years old, and what a life she lived. And so thinking about you, Gokster, I know how close you two were, and we love you, and we can't wait to have you back next week. And thinking about you, Gokster, my guy. Slot says, saw the same thing. Birdie Stars on the road versus Panthers at home. Tough game to bet with the juice. I'd love to hear what Birdie is saying. He says, I want Dallas here, but they've been so bad on the road. But the Panthers have been so good at home. This game has gone to OT the last 4. Maybe that's the play. There's Theo C in the house. Great to see you, Theo C. Sean Pulliam, ready to get to work. So, Huberdeau is putting up MVP-type numbers. 13 goals, 34 assists, 47 points in 36 games played. He's a plus 12. Aaron Ekblad's having a Norris-type season with 10 goals, 22 assists, 32 points in 35 games. He's a plus 23. They have Patrick Hornqvist with COVID, and their second and third string goalies, Spencer Knight and Jonas Johansson, all out with COVID right now. Look, I want the Stars. At this number, I want the Stars. Are they going to be able to change this storyline of them not succeeding on the road? Sammy Comer says Stars over 2.5. Look, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this game. I want to watch it. But, I've just been very impressed with this Panthers squad. Look at what Duclair has done this year. I don't know if you look at Duclair's stats. He's a plus 20. And I think he's only played 27 games. Verhaeghe stepping up for them. Sam Bennett has slowed down. Obviously, we have character question marks about Sam Bennett because of the way the Flames have got rid of him. But Birdie leaning heavily to the under. And Matty I saying sometimes to me that's the play to stay off and watch. Look, it's Dallas or no bet. And Dennis Garcia says if you fade Florida, do it early. That makes a ton of sense. And obviously that 6-5 shootout game is playing with the market in the heads of the gamblers. But we've talked about the 10-cent move to the under. So no move for me at this point. Let's keep rolling. We have a huge NBA card, and then we have college basketball to get into. 8 p.m. Eastern next up for us. As soon as I'm saying this, I just think, God, I'm so thankful I get to cap with you guys every day. What joy it brings to my life. And thank you guys so much for supporting us here on Pop Sports Radio. Anaheim Ducks 19-13-7, 7-7-3 on the road at Minnesota Wild, 21-10-2, 11-3-1 at home. We're at Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Anthony Stolarz will be in net, and that is because COVID is hurting these Ducks. They have not badly, John Gibson and Simon Benoit, but is Trevor Zegras back to full throttle because it seemed like COVID hurt him pretty badly. But Stolarz has been excellent this year. 6-4-1, 2.29 goals against average, 929 save percentage, 2 shutouts. He's been one of the best backup goaltenders in the league. Capo Kakinen on the other side here, and that's because Cam Talbot's dealing with a lower body injury. A lot of issues with this Minnesota Wild with their COVID situation, and I would be on the Wild if they didn't have all these COVID issues right now. So Anaheim power play 26.7%, penalty killing 85.3%. Minnesota power play 17.3%, penalty killing 79.8%. Ducks coming off their second loss in 3 games, 4-1 at home to the Penguins on Tuesday night. Troy Terry continued his great play, 22 goals, 14 assists, 36 points, 38 games. He's even in the plus-minus category, and he's the only Duck in double-digit goals. I mean, he's just really stepped up. Zegras, 9 goals, 18 assists, 27 points, 33 games played. He's a -8. We know who the best player on this hockey team is, and it's Trevor Zegras, and we'll see. He's got a big career ahead of him. Kevin Shattenkirk has had a career resurgence. There's been a couple defensemen that I've not been high on over the last few years, and Kevin Shattenkirk and Shane Gostisbehere both have resurrected their career. Shattenkirk on the Ducks and Ghost on the Coyotes, and it's great to see. It's good to see that they can dig deep and come back. Shattenkirk, 6 goals, 14 assists, 20 points, -1, and he's played in every game this year, and he could have been picked up for a cup of coffee. Adam Henrique remains out of the lineup. Wild coming off their second straight win, 3-2 in a shootout home over the Capitals. The 2 wins came on the heels of a 5-game losing streak. Kirill Kaprizov practiced yesterday. He sustained an upper body injury with a hard hit from Trent Frederick in that 3-2 win on January 6th over the Bruins. He's expected to play tonight. 40 points, all-star, 14 goals, 26 assists in 32 games. Eriksson Ek, they took him off his line. I guess he just wasn't offensive enough to play with Zuccarello and Kaprizov, and now he's on a line with Greenway. That's probably the best defensive line in the NHL, but both Greenway and Eriksson Ek have COVID, so they're out. He was replaced at center on that line by Ryan Hartman, 15 goals, 13 assists, 28 points, and he's a +26. He's a +26. That's by 9 the best on the hockey team. He is a good hockey player, and the Chicago Blackhawks brain trust should shake their head for letting him go for nothing. So Jordan Greenway, Brandon Duhaime are likely to play. So Greenway's likely to come back. They both missed 2 games in COVID-19 protocol, but Goligoski is out with protocol, and then Brodin and Jared Spurgeon, lower body and upper body injuries, respectively. There's Robert Cherry in the house, and it is Taint. It is the Taint play of the day, Michigan +9.5. We will discuss that. When we get into college basketball. Thank you so much for sharing again. Taint coming off a nice win with Stanford yesterday. There's Robert Cherry. Said, what up, my guy? Just woke up, had a drunk night at the studio, but let's cash my tweet up some anytime goals today. I love that, Robert Terry. Hope you were delivering magic. And Spenny Pennybombs has Zegras for Rookie of the Year at plus 550. There's Ryan Scahill in the house. Great to see you, Ryan. Slatsy says, a wild 9-0 last night. Historical trends matter. Wild get cappers off tonight on wild regulation and money line. I get it. And both the cappers in Slatsy and Birdie, who talked about historical trends mattering, both had easy cashers. Slatsy with the Rangers and Birdie with the Kings over the Penguins, which was spectacular work. I wish I jumped on either of those with you guys. Piker says, Ducks opened at plus 170, now sit plus 135. Yes, I have the Ducks at plus 135. There's no doubt that they're a live dog here with the COVID issues. And with COVID, it does concern me a little bit about whether or not we believe in these historical trends. And Mr. Goxer says Greenway with Rask and Foligno. And that's, of course, because Eriksson Ek is out with COVID. Danny A. Yeah, Mr. Goxer said just dropped the line. And he says to sum up historical trends 2-0. Yeah. No, it's great work, you guys. Great work. Okay, so look, with all the COVID issues that these teams are facing, they do concern me a little bit. But I don't think there's anything wrong with backing Minnesota Wild. Clearly, there's a market move towards the Ducks, and I need Eriksson Ek. I think he's a really strong hockey player. He reminds me of Chandler Stevenson, that maybe without the offense that Stevenson has shown this year. But they're both very good players. Brady says you just hate it. You know, I don't know how much faith I have in them. You're right. Okay, let's keep. Says, how can we get there? Okay, let's move on to 9 p.m. Eastern. This is the game I want in on. This line's just ludicrous. Avalanche were minus 500 when they opened up yesterday. Now they're minus 600. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous. You take the captain, Gabe Landeskog, off the Colorado Avalanche, and they're minus 600 favorites. It's just ridiculous. Jimmy Gomez was yelling at me about trends at the barbecue. So that is all factual. And Robert Cherry looking at Kaprizov, Fiala, Barkov, Makar, McKinnon, Clayton Keller, anytime goals. Parlay $10 should bring back $3K. Let's talk about this spot. Coyotes, Avalanche, Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Vejmelka coming off that incredible performance against the Leafs. And that's not the first time this year he's stood on his head. So, you don't want anybody to be dealing with COVID, but with Scott Wedgwood having COVID, look, it helps the Coyotes. It should be Vejmelka's spot. He should be the number one goaltender there. We know what Wedgwood is, and he's a backup goaltender. We don't know what Vejmelka is, a 25-year-old Czech, and he deserves the opportunity to see what he is. Kemper on the other side, 16-5-1, 2.86 goals against average, 905 save percentage. Can he possibly lose this to Francouz, who's back? Pavel Francouz, who missed all of last year. That must be the spot. Slat says 605 must be the highest line ever. It's the highest line I've ever seen. So initially I was like, well, what is the best spot? And I'll go over how I'm going to bet this with Arizona, Colorado. Arizona power play at 14.4%, penalty killing at 72.7%, Colorado power play at 24. The plus 1.5 for Arizona is plus 185, Piker. The plus 2.5 is minus 115 or minus 120. I can't remember. But the minus 2, which you can build with Ron Crawford's minus 1 calculator, is a plus 133. And I think that's a better look than first period plus a half at plus 105. Oh, and look at Flash Allen says, why did my bookie ask if I want to increase my credit? He's because you're dangerous. He wants you to lose. Brady says Coyotes off a win. The way to attack this is early Avs. They've scored in the first 10 minutes almost every game. Instead of forcing Coyote bets, I think we attack first 10 minutes Avs over 1.5. That's how we win here in Birdie's opinion. And I get that look. Uncle Oliver looking at the under 6.5. There's Foxy in the house. Let's keep going through this. The Coyotes coming off their second win in 3 games, 2-1 at home over the Leafs on Wednesday night. Clayton Keller's playing well. And it doesn't surprise me. And I don't mean any disrespect to Clayton Keller, but he's always seemed like the kind of player who it doesn't matter if they win or lose. He just wants 25 minutes of ice time. And it's probably unfair for me to make that statement on him, but I'm not surprised that he's playing well. None of the games matter, and he's getting the ice time that he's always wanted. 12 goals, 14 assists, 26 points, 34 games. He's a -6. Ghost Despair, we've talked about him resurrecting his career. 6 goals, 17 assists, 23 points in 34 games as a -10. They're missing defensemen Cam Dineen, Anton Strawman, and Kyle Capobianco and Wedgwood due to COVID. Barrett Hayton out with a hand injury, and Chikrin still out with the upper body injury. He was going to come back, but now he's got COVID. So, and they're trying to deal him as well. He does have value, even though his plus minus is atrocious at -29. But he's been in all the most important situations. Throw a lot of robotic sounds. Okay. Okay. The Avs had their 5-game winning streak snapped in a 5-4 overtime loss in Nashville on Tuesday night. Nazem Kadri. Is he going to score 100 points this year? Is he the most unlikely 100-point scorer in NHL history? The guy had 1 goal in 27 games at the end of last year. And look at him go. 13 goals, 35 assists, 48 points, 30 games played, plus 14. He's playing excellent hockey. And he's led this team game in and game out because they've had all these COVID issues and injuries. They have no Gabe Landeskog, and the Bowen Byron situation is scary. He doesn't have a new concussion. His dad's now talking for him. The issues that he's having are from his old concussions, which is awful. They tried to get him to play on Tuesday night, and he said he couldn't play. And then he just left the team for personal reasons. So our thoughts are with you, Bowen Byram. You're a hell of a hockey player. I'm sorry you're going through these head injuries. And, God, you're a hell of a hockey player. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's what matters. You're a hell of a hockey player, and I hate that you're going through this shit. Okay, so Nutflush on said, I watched the entire Leafs game. Arizona had a rabbit foot hanging over the net. They're going to give up goals today. Buckle up on this team total. Look, okay. I almost didn't bet the Sabres yesterday. It took me till about 5:30 just to get the confidence to bet the Sabres. And maybe this is a similar situation. Look, I know the Coyotes are coming off a win, but they've won 2 of their last 3 games. And +2 at +133 is a risk reward that I like. Twate. So it wasn't just me that got through COVID over the last week and a half. It was Twate Latte as well, battling through COVID. Love you, man. Says buy yourself some Robitussin. Much love to you, Twate Latte. Thank you for the dono. All right. So Ixnizzle, love that comment too. Says that's what life is about, coming together and spreading love. Love you, Ixnizzle. So what do I want? Do I want the Coyotes at +2? I do. The Avalanche without their captain. I don't think the Predators are a good hockey team, and the Predators look like the better hockey team in that game against the Avalanche. The Avs haven't been playing that well. They're squeaking through victories. But I get what Birdie's saying. Are we looking at this -600 and thinking, oh, how do I get on board? Because this is the most ridiculous line. I get what Birdie's saying. He wants Avalanche the first 10 minutes. I don't see why Vejmelka won't keep going from what happened. I mean, I don't see how that isn't a confidence builder. And this Coyotes team is actually enjoying being out on the ice. So you got Galchenyuk out there. What a bum. He has 0 goals in 16 games. What a fucking bum. If I just had the fucking talent that he had, what a bum Galchenyuk is. But I want in on the Coyotes. +2 at +133. Coyotes first period +0.5. I'm not sure, and I don't want to reach, and I'm just sit and think about it. But I am afraid of the Stars Panthers game. I think the Stars are the only look. I do not want the Wild with important pieces out and an angry Ducks team. So maybe we just do nothing in NHL. And again, look, I thought I was going to have a giant night last night, and it ended up just up 0.82 units. But it is what it is. That's the NHL card, 3 games. I can't wait to cap the rest of the year in NHL with you guys. But we have a 9-game NBA card staring us in the face, and your NBA expert on Fridays and hopefully more days is a guy that puts smiles on all of our faces. Just a great guy, great capper. Unfortunately, my family's been just dealing with traveling has been a bitch with all of the illnesses going on out there, and my kids were sick through the LA trip, really sick, and so I didn't get a chance to hang with my guy. But the future has me hanging with your next guest. Please welcome to the show from Los Angeles, California, Darryl Rice in the house. It's Derl, baby. It's Derl. Oh, you're muted, my guy. You're muted. We need to hear that smooth voice.
Well, that's on me. My bad. What? Oh, hold on. Let me start again. Yo. What is good, brother? What is good, man? So happy to be back. First and foremost, man, I'm glad that you're doing good, Jimmy. I'm so glad that you're doing good, brother. This shit is just crazy out here. So I'm glad that the family is good. I'm glad that you're good, man. And I'm happy to be back just talking ball with you, man. It's got a little bromance going and shit. So not having you talk ball for a little bit has been kind of crazy. So let's get through these games. 9 games, man. It's a lot of games. I'm happy to be back talking ball. Let's do it, brother.
Let's do it. Let's get after it right now. And we have a really fun card. And the capping yesterday was our first day back, and the NBA capping was so strong. And I can't wait just to see if we can keep it rolling. I only made 2 moves. I had Pelicanos first half and full game yesterday. I got scared off of the Bucks, but a lot of opportunities for us to get paid right now. It is time for this big 9-game NBA slate. We got ITSDerl joining us. Thank you guys for watching us here on Pub Sports Radio. And I'm going to bring up, let me figure out what site to bring up for the market movements. Can't believe that we have to deal with this again. But let's just start with what we're dealing with here. Orlando Magic at Charlotte Hornets. The Magic plus 10.5. That's at minus 105. This total at 222 and a half. Magic 7-35, 5-20 on the road. Hornets 23-19, 12-5 at home. We're at Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. Orlando losing game after game after game. In their past 5, they've lost them all. They're 22nd in pace at 97.3 possessions a game. Charlotte 4-1, 5th in pace at 101.5 possessions a game. Let's move over to the cash flow here and see what we are dealing with in this spot. Get this up here. We have 4,022 tickets in, and it's all Charlotte. 74% of the tickets and 90% of the cash. Then you have 67% of the tickets and 98% of cash on the under. Magic coming off their 10th straight loss, 112-106 at the Wizards on Wednesday night. They played the Wizards tough in both those games, covered both games, but lost both. Magic have been dealing with injuries. Bamba, Wendell Carter Jr., MCW. Jalen Suggs is expected to return tonight. I'm not sure if that has changed. Hornets coming off their 4th straight win, 109-98. The Sixers on Wednesday night. 4 straight wins, 2 over the Bucks, 1 on the road against the Sixers. Held their last 2 opponents to fewer than 100 points. That's the first time they've done that in consecutive games this season. Take it away, Derl. Our first game on the board, Magic Hornets.
This one was crazy. This line, man, it's pretty large. Now, what I like about this game and the reason why I took this side, and I'm telling you, man, all this shit is probably just going to be square. All this shit is probably going to be square for me because I'm just a square motherfucker. I'm not sharp, but I just try to find the money, right?
I don't know about that.
I just try to find the money, man. This is what I'm thinking. Magic can't stop a nosebleed right now. Right? They can't stop anything. But opponents' points have gone down. Right now, 224 being the total, somebody's going to score $120. Somebody is going to score maybe a little over 100. I think we're in a position because the Charlotte Hornets team points per game right now is at 115. I think it's a good time to jump on Charlotte Hornets team total points over 117.5. They got a long break after this, so they can go and party, right? So they might check out. I don't think they're really caring about the spread, even though I did see an 11 and it went back down. I really do like the team total here. So I already jumped on it, man. I jumped on that motherfucker. I took team total, Charlotte Hornets, over 117.5. I think it's a good spot for them to at least get closer to their average, right? I mean, Orlando isn't going to stop them. These games have been close. I believe somebody was just putting in the chat that they haven't been past 10 in the last 5 games they've played or so. So I do like the position to where Charlotte's in. I mean, they have been balling, man. They have been balling. And Orlando just has been doing the exact opposite. So I don't see why you couldn't get to 117, 118. Charlotte is just in a position where I think that they can win this game. They can win it handedly. I mean, if we're talking about shit teams, they beat Detroit 140-111. So we'll see. I like Charlotte team total over 117. 117.5 is what I got. It might go down, but I did already step on and make an official play of Charlotte Hornets 117.5.
That makes sense to me. I'm going to try to find you close to that number, but the whole breakdown makes absolute sense. Let's get Darryl on the board. So right now, for some reason, maybe Jose can help us line shop here. It's going to be a little more difficult for me. For some reason, I'm not getting a team total. When I hit Pinnacle, when I get to the Magic Hornets game, it's going straight to player props.
Yeah. It was off for a quick second, but I think that's because that line, man. That line was 10.5. Now it's back to 11. I mean, it's jumping up and down.
Well, so I do have that circa minus. Oh, it's 117 at Heritage. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for helping us with that. Dan, is that at minus 110? If you could let me know what the juice associated with that, because that's better than what's.
I got my 17.5 at minus 110.
Well, let's get you the best line that's available, because in the long run, anytime we can save you a half point or whatever, we need to, because it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you in the long run. I know you get in on your action.
Yeah.
So, and Dan Kelly's Charlotte team total over 117. I'm also on that.
Oh, see, hey man, when Dan said if Dan is on some shit, you know what I'm saying? Because Dan be having some hot takes, bro. If Dan is on some shit, man, I'm with it. That makes me even more happy. Like I said, I jumped on that once I saw it. I'm just too afraid of that spread. This motherfucking spread, bro. I don't know.
What are your expectations of Suggs coming back to the lineup?
Who? Suggs? I don't know. Does it fucking matter? I mean, I would like. Is Mo Bamba playing?
He's not. But let me.
Yeah.
I have him as out, but I'm going to pull up all the injury reports right now. Sammy Cummers found it at minus 103 at 117.5 at Penny. We'll give him the 117 if we can get him.
I mean, Suggs. Yeah. I mean, what do you get up? I mean, bro. I mean, Jalen Suggs is good. We know he's got high upside, but he has not played at all. Like, what? You're just going to throw him on there, and all of a sudden, Charlotte's not going to get to the fucking century mark? Nah, bro. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. And the Magic is just not Magic at all. There's nothing fucking magical about the Magic.
No, dude, you're absolutely right. And Mo is questionable.
Yeah.
So Mo is questionable, so he might be back in the lineup. I thought he was out, but
Kelly Oubre not playing. That don't mean anything. I mean, like I was saying earlier, I mean, they put up that 140 because he almost broke Clay's record for most threes in a game. But you've seen what they're doing without Oubre. I mean, they beat Philly 109 to 98. They beat Milwaukee. I think there wasn't Oubre in that game either.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, great breakdown. The bet makes a ton of sense. There's Ron Crawford joining us off of a 2-0 board sweep. Joseph Tucker, look at that. Our guy, man. Respect. It's good to see you, man. Being too long. All right, let's keep rolling. Next up for us, we have the Raptors versus the Pistons. Raptors Pistons, 7 p.m. Eastern. So I did bring up the Action Network, so we'll use that right now as SBR is down, as has been too common of an occurrence. This opened up here, according to Action Network, with the Raptors -7. It's moved to 8.5, and FanDuel has moved to 9. Oh, I should put up the totals here as well. Let's get these totals up here. Then this total opened up at 214.5. It's now at 213.5, 213, and FanDuel's moved it down to 212.5. Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Toronto 4-1, 20th in pace over the last 5 games at 97.50 possessions a game, while Detroit 2-3, 5th in pace at 101.50 possessions a game. Let's take a look and see what we're dealing with from a cash flow scenario. 3,492 tickets in at this point. 79% of the tickets, 78% of cash on the Raps. Then you have 33% of tickets on the over, but 89% of cash, and it's going down, which is tricky to figure out. Uncle Oliver is on the full game over 214 in this spot. Big bets are with you, Uncle. So I get that look. Raptors had their 6-game winning streak snapped in a 99-95 loss to the Suns on Tuesday night. They're just playing really good ball. No Gary Trent Jr., no Scotty Barnes. I mean, what is
it no for sure?
I'm just meaning that last game.
Got you.
Yeah, we're gonna pull up everything because it's not long-term injuries for them. But these guys are such key pieces to the puzzle, each averaging over 31 combined. Sorry, over 31 points per game. But it's their defense and their hustle, and we're in love with these two guys. Van Fleet being on a tear. Obviously, the Suns and Chris Paul recognized that and made it a key thing to shut him down, averaging 29.6 points in his last 9 games. But this is what we were talking about at the beginning of the year. You know, we have Van Fleet out there a lot, but often we'll have 5 guys on the floor that are 6'8". You know, and how do you deal with that? It's tough. Pistons had their modest 2-game winning streak snapped in an ugly 133-87 loss at Chicago on Tuesday night. Casey must just lose his mind coaching these guys. When they get down, they give up. You know, in Detroit's last 3 losses, they've lost by 29, 30, and 46. Cunningham and Sadiq Bey go for 29 each when they come back with the Jazz, and then they're held to 22 points in that loss at Chicago. Take it away here, Darryl. Raptors, Pistons.
I'm telling you, jump on this right now because I'm looking and the line is dropping like a motherfucker. The juice is Pascal Siakam has been on a tear with his assists. He put up 7 against Phoenix. He put up 7 against New Orleans. He put up 5 at Utah, put up 6 against Milwaukee, put up 6 against San Antonio. Pascal Siakam assists. I found that he's averaging a little over 5 at this point. The books gave it to me. 5.5 assists. Pascal Siakam was at plus 120. It is now plus 112. It is now plus 112. If I were you, I would take that prop. I do like him passing the ball. He'll give you 4 assists in the first quarter, right? They are moving the ball. That's just what Toronto does. So my official play on that game, because I really can't gauge a side here. I mean, Toronto should go in there and just smack the shit out of Detroit. I mean, they almost beat the Suns, but like you said, they didn't have Scotty Barnes, who's just being a hell of a player. Gary Trent Jr. didn't play either. Bro, Pascal Siakam assists are cashing. The books are starting to adjust to it, but you got to look at their assists or his assists. I jumped all on it already. Pascal Siakam, over 5.5 assists. I am there already. Take it.
And that right now at Bet365 is plus 125.
Yeah, I would take that.
So we can lock you in at that plus 125. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the days are in. On the hardwood, it is the Mavericks game. We're going to discuss that here. Let me just pop this in. Sorry, when is this game? Here we go. Oh, wow. It's Memphis, of course. And then he's on the spreadsheet play with the Wild. And look, I completely get it. It's just those COVID issues make me uncomfortable. And I'm a huge Eriksson Ek fan. So let me just pop that in. Thank you for sharing that with us, Ron Crawford. We'll go over your spreadsheet play. We'll go over the Taint play. Spreadsheet play went 2-0 yesterday. Taint cashed as well yesterday. So we can get you plus 125 in Siakam assists. So the way it looks is that Barnes is probable. I mean, he's still listed as questionable, but we think he's probable. He did practice yesterday. Gary Trent did not practice yesterday, but he traveled with the team. So I don't. It looks like probably Barnes and probably not Trent, even though they're both listed as questionable. Siakam assists over 5.5 at plus 125 for ITSDerl. Let's roll on. 7 p.m. Eastern. Phoenix Suns 31-9, 14-4 on the road at Indiana Pacers, 15-27, 12-11 at home. We are at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Suns. Pacers. Let's see what this opened up at here. We have it opening up at 5.5 and still at 5.5 for the Suns as road favorites. We have the total opening up at 220. Now we see a couple 220.5s on the board. Wine Time Sports says, I think tonight is a great spot for the Pacers plus 5.5. The public is hammering Phoenix despite CP3 being questionable. Makes me like Indiana even more. Make it an official play for me, Jimmy, says Wine Time Sports. Pacers 13-6 against the spread as dogs this year. They don't win, but they cover. That's from Wine Time Sports. Phoenix pace 16th over the last 5 games, 98.8 possessions game, 4-1 over that period. And Penny Bomb's looking at OG, Anunoby threes, 2.5 over 2.5 at plus 110. And Piker, Seamus saying it feels like a feasible over in that Pistons game at the low 213. Even the Pistons showing they can score buckets of late, beating Utah and Milwaukee. Interesting. It's the Raptors' pace and the Raptors dictating things that make me nervous about the spot, but I wouldn't bet against it. All right, let's go back to Suns Pacers. Pacers 1-4 over the last 5, 27 the pace, 95.61. But I can understand why times look at the Pacers bouncing back. Why don't we just start with them? They come off losing a home and home with the Celtics, and it ended ugly. 119-100 at home on Wednesday night. Karis LeVert returned from a 5-game absence, scored 16 points. Malcolm Brogdon, still dealing with a sore Achilles, scored 6 points. They were 7 of 36 from 3. You have to think if Brogdon is more comfortable after that, the Achilles bothering him, or if he's hurting still. But you have to think that they can bounce back from shooting 19% from 3. Suns bounce back from their 123-100 loss at home to the Heat by defeating the Raptors 99-85 at Toronto on Tuesday night. 20 turnovers. They allowed the Raptors 22 offensive boards. Get used to that because the Raptors are smashing the glass. And they still took care of business. It's a hell of a basketball team. Crowder goes for 19. Ayton and Booker each have 16. Paul goes 15 and 12 assists. And there's Noli knows in the house. Great seeing Noli. Robert Cherry also on the Pacers. He's going to tie the Pacers plus 5.5 with the over 215.5. Mm-hmm. Piker saying CP3 upgraded to probable. Let's hand the ball off to Derl. Suns Pacers, take it away.
So my notes here say, fuck this damn game. That's what my notes say. The Pacers are so bad, man. They're so bad. I can't gauge the team. I really can't, because the Pacers, I was looking at numbers overall, and I know you tell a shorter story, if you will, with their last 3, last 5, and last 10, right? But Pacers are still top in the league in first half scoring, right? They're top in the league in first half scoring, which they start off strong, and then that's it, right? They can't finish games at all. Suns not really covering spreads. I mean, their record in the last 10 right now is 4-6. That's a lot of points. But I can't play the Pacers, right? But I can't play the Suns here either. So, voices in my head told me to write, fuck this damn game. So that's what I did. Now, this may be some props here, right? You could play some props in this game. I would possibly look and see what Booker's points are, right? At 220, that's pretty much average as far as, scoring games. So, they should get their shots off, but there was no interest I had in this game whatsoever. I wouldn't piss on this game if it was on fire.
You were cashing the Pacers first half, and you got us on them as well.
Yeah.
A while back. And I know we've moved on, but a very interesting point by Sammy Culmer says, if I'm not mistaken, teams have been struggling after they play Toronto on the road. We'll look into the numbers. I wonder if it's all the bullshit protocols they have to go through to cross the border. And that's a very, very interesting note, Sammy. You keep an eye on that, because that's something we could take advantage of that might not be put into the
really
market
sharp.
Today.
Yeah. I mean, that's sharp. I mean, they barely beat Toronto, right? You got Devin Booker, hitting the game, not game winner. You want to call it that? 1 minute and 2 left in that game, right? But still, at the same token, you didn't have Barnes and you didn't have Gary Trent Jr. So Phoenix could probably come out here and lay an egg. I'm not sure. If you're going to take a side, maybe look at Pacers first half. But I just got on Pacers first half and got burned this week, bro. So it's one of those things now where I'm like, man, nah, I'm cool. I especially without I'm not knowing what the Chris Paul news is. So right now it's just a stay away from me. But my notes, fuck this damn game.
Yeah, I wonder if this. So Brogdon practiced. He's still questionable. If you see Lance Stevenson out on the floor, your Pacers action is in trouble.
Yeah, and that was another. I was listening to a podcast, man. I mean, I'm a podcast junkie, right? And what they were saying in the podcast, Jimmy, if you're signing Lance on 10-day contracts and he's your main guy, you got fucking problems. You have some problems, man. And he's getting it done, but damn. I mean, if Lance is the guy that you got to go to win games, that's a bigger problem than you would imagine, right? So that's another reason why I wouldn't take any side of the Pacers at all. It took me to lose his first half bet to just learn, like, yo, they got bigger problems than people know there right now. So that it's just a no play for me.
I get it, but something's telling me to take the Pacers again early here. The Suns are not going to play with any urgency whatsoever, especially with CP being kind of banged up. And then the Pacers coming off shooting 19%. And the fact that Brogdon practiced is a good sign. So I don't know if I have the balls to do it. But I have some interest in it. I'd just like to see very quickly what that would be here if I wanted these.
Well, just so you know, man, just on average right now in the last 3, if you want to take Indy, this would be the time to do it. Opponents' points per game, right? Indy's allowing 49.3. Phoenix is allowing right now 53. So they're allowing more points than Indy. And so if you still like them because of what they're doing for the whole entire season, like I said, Indy is still like top 3 in first half points per game. But you got to wait till you get those set pieces before you jump on anything, right? You can't just depend on Karis LeVert.
No, but I do think that he'll have a better game, and if Brogdon has a better game, and Duarte, Mark Schillingberg talking about how he was dealing with the death the birth of a child, birth of his daughter. Okay, and it's +2 first quarter, -115, +3 first half. Jared TG says the Pacers will be one of the worst 3-point percentage teams in the league all year. Of course, it'll improve from 19%, but won't improve drastically. Okay, a lot of question marks there. Dwight McQueen said maybe Pacers game on the over. If the Suns play with no urgency whatsoever and the best team dictates the pace, it does concern me. Let's just go back to that market move here on the total. It's moved up a half point. And then when we go back to the cash flow, we have 80. I don't know if I even said the cash flow. 80% of the tickets, 92% of the cash on the Suns, and 43% of tickets on the under, but 91% of cash on the under. I wonder if the under is a play as well. Okay. Let's keep rolling. I'm going to look into those 2 spots. Next up for us, 7 p.m. Eastern, Boston Celtics, 21-21, 8-13 on the road at Philadelphia 76ers, 23-17, 8-9 at home. We're at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Boston over their past 5, 3-2, 29th in pace at 91.40 possessions a game, while Philly's 4-1 over their past 5, 10th in pace at 100.10 possessions a game. And Nuflashan says typically the trend when everyone talking about how bad Indy is a buy on spot. Well, it's worked like that for us in NHL. It certainly did yesterday. The buy low, sell high. The question is, how long would you want to buy in on the Pacers, whether that be 12 minutes, 24 minutes? Because a lot of people want to stay away from 48 minutes. There's Opta in the house, and our guy Von Polo from Charm City is on the Sixers here. All right, let's take a look at what we're dealing with from a market perspective in this spot. We have the Celtics opening up as 3.5-point dogs. FanDuel's moved it to 3. This total opened up at 212.5. It's down all the way to 209.5 at some books. You can still get 210.5 at some spots. We go over to the cash flow. We have 4,451 tickets in. 45% of the tickets on the Sixers and 99% of the cash. Jeez. And then we don't know where the cash is on the total, but we have 55% of tickets on the over, but we know it's dropped 2.5 points. So we can connect the dots there. Celtics coming off their 3rd straight win, 119-100 at the Pacers on Wednesday night. Tatum and Brown combined for 67 points. You know, they were called out, whether they had chemistry together, whether they could play together. They've now combined for 50 or more points in 3 of their past 4 games, averaging 51.8 points between them over the last 5. Marcus Smart was not in the lineup due to a thigh contusion. He is questionable. I don't know if anyone has more information on Marcus Smart at this point. Sixers had their 7-game winning streak snapped in a 109-98 loss at home to the Hornets on Wednesday night. Embiid's 5th straight game, scoring exactly 31 points. And Shake Milton missed Wednesday's game with a back injury. There's my guy Good in the house. THC is Rizza ready to get to work. Let's get right to work and have Derl lead us. Celtics Sixers, take it away.
Yeah, man. So we were talking about Philly, right? And I could see why a lot of money is on Philly because of the tear they've gone through right now before losing to Charlotte, only put them 98 points. You have to look at the caliber of opponents that Philly has been playing. And when you look back at this win streak they've been on, they've been playing some sorry fucking teams. Some sorry teams. Marcus Smart being out, that makes a lot of sense. You might see the line, you might see this go to a 4 now because Marcus Smart is huge, right? But I'm telling you right now, man, I believe this game still goes under. The last 2 games that they've played have gone under. They adjusted. The last game was at 211 or 214. That went under. This game is at 210.5. I still believe it goes under. Only because their total points that they've been averaging in their last 3 is also under their season average. This is an under game, but it's not a game I want any action in. I wanted to see Marcus Smart in. I'm trying to be more smart with my bets, man. I really am. And this is a game to where if Marcus Smart was in, I'd be over the Boston Celtics here. I'd be over the Boston Celtics. Celtics also, like in the last 5 games, haven't really played formidable opponents, if you want to call it that. I mean, New York might have been their hardest opponent out of the 3 teams. They played Indy twice, New York twice, and San Antonio. And then even before San Antonio, they played Orlando. So for what it's worth, they both haven't played really, good formidable opponents. But if I have to look at the schedule, I would say that Boston's played the harder opponents. So I at this point, I don't know if both these teams get to a century mark. I'm not sure. I mean, but I don't want to play this game without Marcus Smart in it. So the lean on here is Boston Celtics. That's if Marcus Smart was in, but since he's out, he's out. I'm telling you right now, Boston should get up for this game, but it's not any game that I want any action to be a part of right now.
Jaylen Brown over 2.5 threes for Bill McDonald. Piker saying revenge game, Boston. Totally fresh new brand of basketball these guys are playing in a prove-it fashion. Tatum and Brown keep it close and or win tonight. And Dan Kelly locking in the third quarter Suns -1.5, which goes with everything that kind of Darryl was saying about the squad, about how they just sort of get worse as the game goes on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And if we believe that the Suns are going to come out with no urgency whatsoever, then that's a very interesting look here. Piker says lost a close one last game. This will also be a grinder, and you'll feel good catching points in a game like this.
They did.
Spenny saying Tatum threes, Embiid points. Embiid put the blame squarely on his shoulders for the loss to the Hornets, and I respect that. And
As he should.
I expect him to step up and play well here. Initially, I was leaning towards the Sixers. I understand why the money's on the Sixers. And if let's see that again one more time here. We have the public tickets on the Celtics, but all the big bets coming in on the Sixers. Danny Green out of the lineup. How much does that affect the Sixers and their perimeter shooting?
Well, you still got Seth, right? You still got Korkmaz for what it's worth. A little bit of Korkmaz. He's kind of streaky. But Seth has been playing balls to the wall. But it was against the caliber of teams they've been playing also. And he was out maybe 1 or 2 games during that stretch. I'm not sure. But a good prop on Seth would be good. Look at Seth.
Possible Seth prop. And I'm Spenny saying Brown and Tatum threes. You can play both. I kind of had a lean to the Sixers, and I'm just wondering if I should just let that go. Just kind of felt like it was a bounce back spot here. I mean, it's a pretty easy thing to say when a team's on a big winning streak and then loses, and then the star puts it all on his shoulders. Okay, so no move at this point. Very, very interesting breakdown. Bill McDonald looking at Curry props, and Wine Time saying Dutchie got him on Jaylen Brown over 2.5 threes a few weeks back, and it's been fire. All right, let's keep rolling. Next up, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Golden State Warriors, 30-10, 12-7 on the road at Chicago Bulls, 27-12, 15-5 at home. United Center in Chicago, Illinois. Sharps took it on the chin with the Warriors yesterday and got me off of my Bucks action. But I don't think it would have mattered, in all honesty. Really, because I doubled up in anger on the Pelicans because I was so angry. I was so angry that I couldn't pull the trigger on the Bucks. I was like, let's double up on the Pelicans. So I imagine if I had have bet the Bucks, I wouldn't have gone first half full game on the Pelicans. So I really don't think it hurt or changed anything with my finances. Golden State Warriors 1-4 over their past 5, 11th in pace, 99.9 possessions a game. Bulls 3-2 over their past 5, 8th in pace, 100.30 possessions a game. Both teams coming off bad losses, and both teams we know have character and can bounce back. And I loved everything DeRozan was saying about the Bulls after the loss. And I imagine that Steph is not going to be happy with the way the Warriors looked. Everything going wrong. Steph going for 12 points. He's not comfortable with that shit. Let's take a look at the market here. In this spot, we have the Warriors opening up as 3.5-point dogs. FanDuel's moved it to 4. Unibet's moved it to 4. This total opened up at 222. It's now at 223 or 223.5. When we go over to the cash, 5,901 tickets in, and the Sharps want nothing to do with the Warriors today. Interesting. 78% of the tickets on the Bulls, 88% of cash on the Bulls. The over has 58% of the tickets and 70% of the cash, and it's moving towards them. One Time Sports says Bulls -4. The Warriors team seems off since Clay has been back. Xcel says, I could only take the Bulls here, but I'm probably passing on the game. There's Millsy in the house. Great to see you, Mills, our guy, MMA Locker Room in the house. Jared TG took Bucks first half, but damn, I wasn't expecting that, he says, and great call. Great call by our Dutch boy, Fresh. And Christopher Carter says, let's not crown the baby Bulls yet. Ixnizzle says, the team I think that will bounce back after bad loss is the Bulls. Steph can't do everything, and he doesn't play D. Bulls better overall team right now with the guys that will be playing. Lit Picks has Bulls first quarter money line at home off a loss. Took the spot last night with the Bucks. Right back to the well I go. All right. And Mills says, when I see it's Derl, it makes me want to light Sage and listen to Jay Dilla. That's what.
Oh, God damn. I know he didn't say Dilla. Man, pause the show, bruh.
Like a little
Dilla.
Sage.
Yeah, man. Trust. First off, I'm going to tell you this real quick.
Yeah, do it up.
I do burn sage. All right. Secondly, Slum Village is my favorite group of all time. Jay Dilla, my favorite producer of all time. So whoever said that, bro, shouts out to you because you nailed it right on the head. MMA Lock. Yep, that's it.
They played a huge role in my youth. A huge role. Slum Village, huge role. Warriors are on the second half of a back-to-back after losing their fourth and 5 games, 118-99 at the Bucks last night. Steph held to 12. Wiggins goes for 16.
Right.
And the big edge here in this game is the Warriors have beaten the Bulls 9 straight times. They've won 4 straight times in Chicago. The Bulls lost their second in 3 games, 138-112 at home versus the Nets on Wednesday night. And Derrick Jones Jr. Hyperextended his right knee against Brooklyn, and he will be out of the lineup. Warriors, Bulls, Derl. Take it away.
I'll tell you this, man. Clay's resting. That's all good. The team has really been without Clay for the last couple of seasons, right? But the fact that you don't have Dre on the court says a whole bunch. This team is completely different, bro, without Dre. Bottom line. Now, what people also aren't talking about is, of course, Milwaukee feasted yesterday, right, in the paint because Golden State plays. They really don't have bigs. Their bigs are Kevin Looney, and Dre, probably one of the smartest small bigs in the league. You're waiting for James Wiseman to come back. But a defender that you're going to miss today is Gary Payton. Gary Payton means a lot on defense. I like Chicago here. I got to lean on Chicago, but Golden State has their number. Will Golden State lose back-to-back games? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. It's one of those things, too, where I think everybody looks at this line and say, oh, this is an automatic one for the Bulls. The way I'm thinking, the Bulls should beat these guys out the building today because you don't have Dre, you don't have Gary Payton. Another prop I was looking at that I'm leaning on, just because you're missing some defenders now, would be Lonzo Ball's points. Lonzo Ball over 12.5 seems like a pretty good sweet spot for him to get like 13, 14 points because you're missing those perimeter defenders. Golden State does defend the 3 pretty well. Lonzo Ball does move the ball as well, too. So he should get people involved. He's going to get DeMar involved as well. I just can't gauge this game. It was at 3.5, and now I'm telling you, man, 4 seems like it's starting to get up there. So for right now, it's no play, but my lean on this would be Lonzo Ball's points, and it would be Chicago Bulls side.
I think that you nailed it. I mean, these are the 2 issues. We have this trend of the Warriors beating the Bulls nonstop, 9 straight and 4 straight in Chicago. But then you have no Peyton, no Draymond Green. And how are the Warriors going to get stops?
Yeah.
And then you have an angry Bull squad.
You got an angry Bull squad.
Dan Kelly on the Warriors, team total under 110. Spenny says Bull spot here. Then he says, I think for sure.
I think.
Sounds like a camera.
That team total might be a good look too. I mean, Golden State is not even getting to the century market some of these games. All right, so yeah,
Schnizzle
96
says
they win.
Trifecta spot. There's razor sharp picks, as we said off the top of the show. Horses tonight, Friday night action. I do think I'm a week away from hammering JMO with you guys on the show, but God, I want to be a part of it. Lit picks Vucevic over 10.5 board says, why not keep exploiting the Warriors' lack of bigs down low?
Yeah,
Vucevic should eat like Val, Jokic, Sabonis, Bay, and others. He averages 11 at home.
Yeah, that's actually a better prop than Lonzo Ball points, to be honest with you. He should get boards.
And Pike, you're talking about the issue. Seamus saying it's, consider the head-to-head in history. They own the Bulls, and you're right. They're not trying to lose back-to-back. Everything. God, the Bulls. I mean, you have to think that Steph is just going to shoot the lights out tonight and try to carry this team all the way to glory.
What has Steph been, bro? What the fuck is he? This fucking game, man. Like Steph has been in a slump for a minute now, right? I mean, he'll come out and give you some, and then it's just like he doesn't go off. I mean, for a quick second there, I mean, Seth has been the better Curry than Steph. I mean, I don't know what's going. Ever since he came off that breaking Ray Allen's record, man, I mean, I just don't know who Steph is right now at all. I'm not sure. So, yeah, I if you're telling me to bank on Steph having a great fucking game against Chicago, I don't think players are intimidated with Steph right now until he shows them something. I'm just spitballing, but I'm telling you, something's weird.
Yeah, hard for me to figure. Hard for me not to bet the Bulls here. Hard, very, very hard. And I think I'll just have to pull the trigger. By the way, there is no show next Friday as Razor's son will be coming into the world next Friday. Razor's son will be joining us. Okay. So exciting, Razor, man. Congrats, my dude. Okay. I agree. I think this is a Bull smash spot. Like Luke Murphy saying, esteemed author Luke Murphy in the chat. We got the prime cut in Tobias Harris, over 3.5 assists. The prime cut, Sweaty Butcher prime cut back in action. Let me just get that up over the Celtics Sixers game. All right, let's keep rolling. I want to take another look. Again, we have something I should have talked about in the Sixers Celtics game. We have spending penny bombs on Tatum over 2.5 threes, Brown over 2.5 threes, and then Embiid over 28.5 points. In the Charlotte game, he's got Hayward under 18.5 points, Mikal Bridges over 1.5 threes. And Anunoby over 2.5 threes in the Raptors game. And then we'll go into that Dallas spot. Joseph Gomez saying still acclamation of Clay into the lineup. Steph holding his back to bring Clay along. Well, they won't have to tonight because there won't be Clay. Okay, let's keep rolling. Next up for us, we have 8 p.m. Eastern. Atlanta Hawks 17-23, 9-13 on the road at Miami Heat, 26-15, 12-4 at home at FTX Arena in Miami, Florida. Hawks 1-4, 11th in pace at 99.9 possessions a game, while Miami 3-2 over their past 5, 18th in pace at 98.20 possessions a game. Who would have thought that after 40 games of this season and a healthy Trae Young that you'd have the Hawks winners of 17 games on the season, 9-13 on the road. Very, very interesting that they're hurting like this. The Heat opened up as 4-point favorites. They're now 4.5-point favorites. This total opened up at 221. We see some 221.5s on the board. Luke Murphy says Heat all night.
Yeah, man.
All night. Okay, let's see where the cash lies, and then set a quick table for Derl here. We have 3,682 tickets in. 19% of the tickets on the Hawks, 30% of the cash. Interesting. Then 37% of tickets on the under. So the public on the over, but the big bets coming in on the under. 73%. Let's just take a look at that market move one last time here. It's gone up 0.5 point. So very little movement. Big bets coming in on the under. Hawks coming off their third straight loss, 115-91 at home versus the Heat on Wednesday night. DeAndre Hunter returned. He's their best defensive player. He's going to help. 15 points in 24 minutes. They still have no Clint Capella. He's doubtful with the ankle sprain. Heat have won 3 straight, all on the road over Portland, Phoenix, and the Hawks. That 4-2 on that road trip. This team has just battled through so much this year, so many injuries, and they keep fighting. 26-15 on the year. 6 players were inactive on Wednesday. Jimmy Butler has missed 3 games with a right ankle sprain. Hero and Robinson have stepped up. Hero has stepped up all year. Robinson's been stepping up of late. Take it away here, Darryl. Hawks, Heat.
Okay, so Cam, I just didn't find this out till earlier this morning, right? But I just wonder, even though it's hard to do that now, the NBA has made it hard for teams to really tank because of how the lottery goes. Cam Reddish is out of there. They've got Kevin Knox now, right? So they made that trade, or that trade is going down. That kind of tells you a story about what this team is trying to do. They're trying to make some adjustments. Maybe they're already considering that this year is a wash, right? You got John Collins complaining again. This is a repeat of since he's been there almost, where he's complaining about minutes, complaining about everything, right? So obviously Lloyd Pierce wasn't the problem with that. Clint Capella's out. He's out. So now you've got this team in disarray. I want to know, because I won't pick a side. It seems like obviously the side should be Miami Heat. That line, the game before, was -2.5. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is this line -2.5? Right now, we talked about how deep Atlanta is, but they have literally nobody. And now you're starting to trade. You're starting to make trades now. This is telling. This is very telling. I want to know, because I can't find it. What is Dwayne Dedmon's rebounds?
I'll grab it.
If y'all could find that for me, if that's anything close to 6 or 7, I'm going to make that an official play. I'm going to make his rebounds an official play, because Dwayne Dedmon is I call him Antelope Valley's finest, and that guy should give you some rebounds.
Yeah, I can't get it at my book. Not available at my book. We'll try a couple of other ones here. If anyone can find Dedmon rebounds. There's Fat Wally in the house. What up, Fat Wally? San Antonio coming soon, baby. I can't wait to hang with you. Let's just move here and see what we can find. But nothing for Dedmon. This Miami team just keeps rolling. Butler questionable right now.
Yeah.
But...
And where the fuck is Markieff? We need an all-points bulletin on Markieff, bro. I know what he said, on Twitter a couple of days ago about him being out, but God, dog, bro has not played in a long minute. I don't know if Marcus need to go from LA to Miami, he put on his jersey and play for him, bro. But shit, you have not seen Markieff out there since fucking Joker damn near Stone Cold Stunnered his ass standing up. So I don't know, man. This one here is just it's a weird one. It's a weird one. But Markieff is still out. So now you just got Lowry, Duncan, and your 6-man Tyler Hero, who, so I don't know, man. I don't know. But Miami should get it done here. But I would love to see what if is Dwayne out? I don't see him out. But no, maybe I just would love to see what his rebounds are, because he should be able to hit them easily. But other than that, there's no play on me for this game right now, man. I don't like these teams at all.
I get it, and I don't like backing a team after a successful road trip. They win 3 straight on the road. They step up in the face of adversity, and then they come home. Not really a spot I would like to be. Matty Ice says, would you take the Coyotes plus 3.5 tonight, regardless of the juice? No, I wouldn't. No, I mean, would it surprise you if they lose 5-1? No, the only bet you make if you bet the Coyotes has to have a plus beside it. Has to. Under no circumstances do you have any juice whatsoever. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet plays 68% Atlanta. Is there a chance that Butler's back at home, and we see a lot of teams holding off returning their players until they get home? And if Butler's, you know what, you're right. This game is just extremely tricky, and looks like, as a thought you would say, it backwoods. Okay, should we move on from it?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. We should have moved on from this game before it started. Like I said, I was trying to find some angles. Listen, you've been hearing it, man. You've been hearing it. And you know what? Before I say something, there was some motherfucker who said I talk too much and talk too long. I'm sorry, man. That's just how I do it. I take a long time to explain some shit. I'm sorry. I'm slow, man. I was on a short bus all the way through college.
Dude, we love it. We love it. We want it. That's why you're on the show, and we want more of you on the show. So man. Always going to be haters. It's just our life. Okay.
I forget who it was, but I'm going to tell you this, though. That's it. You've heard it already, Jimmy. If you are not looking at props and playing and cornering the prop market right now, bro, I'm sorry, man. You're not winning. because of how COVID is just, this Omarion is just going through like a motherfucker. If you're not looking at props, that's why I like Wham, because Wham has been on the prop shit.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not looking at props, man, you're not capitalizing on the market. So Buffalo Bills was saying that in a couple of shows I was on with them. Dutch hits props. I've never been a props person. I got into it this year, really. I'm probably the youngest capper on this show. So if you're not looking at the prop market and cornering the prop market, you're missing out on a lot of money. That's all I got to say. So this game was a huge fuck you. But if dead men have props on rebounds, I would jump all over it.
Oh, You're not the youngest capper on this show, Darryl. You bastard.
The oldest young capper as far as experience.
Oh, God, he's really reaching now. He's really reaching for breaking news. Okay, let's move on. 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Cleveland Cavaliers 24-18, 13-9 on the road at Spurs, 15-26, 7-11 at home. AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas, where we're going to be in a couple months, baby. Cleveland 3-2 over their past 5, 28th in pace, 94.4 possessions a game. Spurs 1-4, 14th in pace, 99.04 possessions a game. With this spot here on the Spurs, this is their second game of a 7-game homestand, and I'm going to want to back them on this homestand. And I would like to be ahead of the market when I do that. I don't know if this is the spot, but you're always going to question it if you're trying to get out of the market. Spurs open up as 3-point dogs. They're now 3.5-point dogs. This total opens up at 224 and is dropping fast down to 220 and 220.5. Cavs coming off their second straight win, 111-91 at the Jazz on Wednesday night. Lamar Stevens, man, 23 points, 15 in the third. Garland goes for his first career triple-dub, 11 points, 15 assists, 10 boards. Markkanen with 20. Kevin Love scored 16. He's trying to get in the race for the sixth man of the year, and he might be in it. Mobley, 15 and 10. Jared Allen, 12. That's the largest margin of victory in the history of the Cavaliers franchise in Salt Lake City. Cavs have won 2 straight in 3 of their first 4 games of a 6-game road trip. They're playing good ball. Spurs coming off their 4th straight loss, 128-124 at home to the Rockets on Wednesday night. DeWanta, 32-11 and 10. The first player in the NBA this year and the 8th since 1987 with a 30-point triple-dub with 0 turnovers in the game. Forbes, 21. Keldon Johnson, 18. Poeltl, 13. Vassell, 12. Bates, Diop, Lonnie Walker, each 11. Spurs have lost 8 of their last 9 games. They don't have Derek White and Doug McBuckets because of COVID protocol. Both game time decisions could play tonight. And again, the second game of a 7-game homestand. Dan Kelly, blind bet. Cavs first quarter. Don't care what the line is.
Ooh, that's crazy. And I thought about that too. San Antonio, remember, they're up there. If I'm looking right now at their first half, first quarter, first half ATS Cavaliers 30-12 for the season, 15-5 at home, 15-7 away. The damn Spurs have dropped tremendously to where now their first half is 6-10 and 14, 6-10 and 2 at home, 20-18 and 3 for the record. Their first quarter, though. Spurs are second, Cavs are first. So this could go either way. Spurs is 28-13, 13-5 at home, 15-8 away. This is why it's kind of tricky. Cavs, 30-12 for the season, 11-9 at home, 19-3 away. So Cavs play pretty good away. And Spurs play pretty good away. Last 10 Cavaliers have been 7-3, and the Spurs have been 6-4. Jimmy, you remember I was saying, man, it's going to be weird seeing Cavs as a favorite. Like when this team start to turn around, because we would make a lot of money off this team being dogs, right? So I'm telling you this, man. Here's the analysis. You ready for this shit? Give me Cleveland. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. Full game. Give me Cleveland. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. Full game. And I'm looking at the first half because they do pretty well first half. But I would probably step off the first quarter because they're almost like neck and neck. And now you're telling Cleveland to go, win by a point and a half or so. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad bet, but I'm trying to play the safest bet. But they just went and beat Utah. Cleveland is that team. So San Antonio, you do have DeJounte Murray and Lonnie Walker and your set pieces playing, but these bigs is just unbelievable. Unbelievable what they're doing. So they both play tomorrow at that. This is the front end of a back-to-back. I'm telling you right now, man, give me Cleveland. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. Some people took it at 2.5 last night. That's already moved up a point. Give me Cleveland. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. Full game.
We always get excited when the I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is bet comes in.
Yeah,
Again,
I already got it at 3. I got it at 3.5 at -110. I've already played that. So 3.5 is what it is.
And you're getting it at -106 right now at Pinnacle. I will check and see what Circa is on. THC's Rizza says Spurs spot, in my opinion, honestly. Look, I get that as well. And, you know, they look bad in that first game of the 7-game homestand. That's kind of a nice spot. Millsy's got Cavs and Sacramento Kings parlay at +145. Ixnizzle says Cavs will be on my card, probably a trifecta spot first quarter and full game for sure. Vital says 86% first quarter against the spread in away games for the Cavs. Says Cavs first quarter at -1, -105. Cavs are 19-3 first quarter against the spread in away games. Spurs ranked 24th in points allowed in the paint, 27th in foul shots allowed, and last in rebounds allowed.
What's the tickets and handle on this game again? Because I want to see how split it is.
Said it. Thank you for reminding me. 4,867 tickets in. 78% of the tickets, 84% of the cash on the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay.
41% of tickets on the under, 75% cash on that under. Wow.
Yeah.
THC's Rizza looking at that first half over. The Spurs pace is not electric over the last 5 games, and Cleveland now 28th in pace.
Yeah, for this to be, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, for this to even be a close game, you have to have DeJounte playing some serious defense, and he's going to have a monster game. Seriously, man. So this is just Cleveland or nothing for me. I would blindly take that.
Well, you got it. It's the I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is play of the day for, and you know what? It was asked to by our guy Matty Ice. He said Morgan. Derl. What's your favorite play tonight? The smooth sounds of Morgan Freeman. And this is your favorite play. The I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is play of the day. The shirt is coming out.
Man. I'll have it next week. Yeah.
Cavs -3.5 at -106. 106. All right. And North Ender says if you haven't been riding the Cavs first quarter spread, you can't stop now on the road. Okay. And Dan Bonner says that sounds juicy. Luke Murphy looking at that Cavs team total over. It's at 112. And Mark Schlingberg saying, Dan, you said that a month ago or so. Mobley just keeps rolling strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick point about Vitalis, though. And the first quarter makes sense, right? Especially how the Cavs play away, but they're just neck and neck first quarter. They are. So they're first and second. So Spurs can get up. And if we're talking about this line already being short, right? We're not talking about a 5, 6, 7 point spread here. Then that leads me to believe that possibly this game could be very close in the first quarter. And then the adjustments are made. And then you see that first half stretch where Cleveland will come alive. Maybe third quarter, San Antonio brings it back. And then Cleveland closes it out for fourth quarter. So, yeah.
We have 2 games left on the NBA card and then NCAA basketball. Remember, we are giving it to you guys. What college games do you want broken down? List them in the chat. Jose will take note. Max is coming up in 2 more games. We move on to Dallas Mavericks at Memphis Grizzlies. And Ron Crawford pulling out his giant balls here. Ron Crawford getting in the way of an 11-game win streak because the spreadsheet tells him so. Spreadsheet swept the board yesterday. Shout out to Ron Crawford. Spreadsheet play today on the Mavericks. Grizzlies, FedEx Forum, Memphis, Tennessee, Dallas 4-1 over the past 5, 26 in pace at 96.30 possessions a game. Memphis 5-0, second in pace at 103.4 possessions a game. Mavs had their 6-game winning streak snapped in that 108-85 loss at the Knicks on Wednesday. Let's go over to the Action Network and see what we are dealing with here. Grizzlies opened up as 3-point favorites, now 2.5 or 2. This total opened up at 218 and has dropped to 214.5. Similar moves as to what happened yesterday. We saw that the Sharps were all over the Timberwolves, and I had a couple buddies that were on the Timberwolves as well. Dutch had no fear going on impacting the Grizzlies. It was a wildly interesting game. 5,825 tickets in, 20% of tickets on the Mavericks, 76% of cash. So it's happening again. 27% of tickets on the under and 99% of cash on the under. So some whale bets have come in on the under and markets moved in that direction. Mavs had their Mavericks shot 21.6% from 3. Second lowest scoring output of the season. Luka 21-11, 8 of 23 from the field, 1 of 9 from behind the arc. Kristaps Porzingis is still in COVID-19 protocol. Jason Kidd expected to miss his 4th straight game as well. Grizzlies on the second half back-to-back after winning their 11th straight game, 160-108 at home over the Wolves last night. Moran just keeps leading by example. What a baller. Both ends of the court. Went 16-9-8 yesterday. Take it away here, Darryl. Second to last game on the card, Mavs, Grizzlies.
Yeah, so just real quick here. If you had been playing Memphis for a little while, first quarter, or first half, you were making money. You were making money with them. Minnesota put that shit to an end yesterday. Memphis is probably one of these games to where if you like Memphis, you just take them full game. Don't look at any angles here. I don't have a play here at all. I don't have a single fucking play here because I don't know how Ja is, even though they were playing good earlier without Ja on that long stretch where they were supposedly saying that they're better. The team is better without Ja. Fuck that. But right now, man, I don't have a play. If you're going to look at an angle, you can probably go back to the well with Memphis first half. But the reason why this line is short, I believe, is because of how well Dallas's defense has been playing, right? Their defense has been on fire. So I would look at the full game here. But I don't have an advantage here. I don't have a play. It's either Memphis or nothing for me. But other than that, I'm not playing this fucking game.
It's a tricky one, and I'm lament not trusting the. It wasn't I didn't trust Dutch's look. The Sharps always scare me, and that happened again. Dan Kelly says, I said this before the Grizz Wars. You don't fade a team on a 7+ game winning streak. I learned that lesson a long time ago, like trying to catch a falling knife. Foxy's on the Grizzlies money line. Foxy's also rolling with you on that Siakam assist prop. And we have Jacob Lazinski. We have Jacob Lil Ixnizzle joining us. We got father-son capping here together in the chat.
Nice.
Shout out to you, Jacob. We love your father, man. Absolutely great capper and great guy. And I'm sure you are just like him. So welcome, Jacob, my guy. Welcome to the fam. And, we just we love and respect your dad enormously. Okay, Jacob's got the Cavs all day. Says, what up, Jimmy? Cavs all. Oh, he's a little brother. Okay, he's a little brother. I thought it was your son. Okay, little brother's still good. Okay, we got brother and brother rolling here.
I think THC was saying back to the Cavs because I saw Cavs all day. That line is short because they're begging you to take the Cavs. This has happened with Memphis to where they were begging you to take the other side as well. And Memphis has just been rolling through teams. So I don't know, man. I don't know. That Cavs game seems like that I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. But yeah, this one here, it's either Memphis or nothing, but I'm off this game. It's not something I want to be involved in.
It sucks. It sucks that the Mavs are coming off of a 21.6% game from 3. And you know that Luka wants this really badly, and you don't mess with Luka. And, it's probably going to keep me off of Memphis. But the Mavericks shoot 21% from 3, and we think, they're going to bounce back. They're going to bounce back.
Right.
The Pacers shoot 19% from 3, and we're like, those are the Pacers. I think the Pacers bounce back. I think the Mavs bounce back, and I think the Mavs want this. Xnizzle says my kids are 5 and 2. But his son's already like me, so watch out, lady. Well, we do have father-sons capping together on the show. I thought you were adding one, but having your little bro in the mix is great too. All right, let's roll. Next up, 10 p.m. Eastern, Houston Rockets 12-31, 5-18 on the road at Sacramento Kings 17-27, 11-14 at home. We're at the Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. Remember, get your college basketball looks in. We've got a few coming in right now. Jose's keeping the list. We got Max ready to go. Max coming off a 5-2 day plus 2.8 units. And it's fun. It's fun doing this with Maxie. Okay, so let's go. Houston 2-3 over the past 5. Fastest pace in the league, 105.4 possessions a game. Sacramento 1-4, 15th in pace at 99.00 possessions a game. So talking about things that we lament. One thing I wanted to do, and we talked about it all, and it takes discipline and it takes care, and Nutflush Allen did it, was just taking the team totals against teams playing the Rockets nonstop. And he was cashing. Now it feels like the totals, and everyone knows these Rockets games are going over. It feels like it's about 3 of every 5 games goes over right now. And I've been watching, and I've not been betting, much to my chagrin. This total opened up at 239. It has dropped a half point.
That is fucking crazy.
It's dropped a half point. It's dropped a full point on one book. The Kings open up as 5.5 point favorites. That's moved to 5, and it's moved to 4.5. And you can imagine this possible letdown spot after their win against the Lakers. Let's talk about these points. So the Rockets have averaged 112.3 points in January. They averaged 104.3 in November, 111.6 in December. It's not their offense, but they keep fighting. And that's what keeps these games going over. But they allow 124.9 points per game this month. The Kings have allowed the 10th most points this month at 113.1. But this total, 139, I see 239. I think I got to try to get under it. That's just my own issues. And Millsy says free money, Wood over 19.5 points. Holmes is out. Rashawn is out. Rockets snapped their 3-game losing streak with a 128-124 win at San Antonio on Wednesday night. Eric Gordon led the way for Houston with 31 points. I love the way he's handled all this transition in Houston. And the Kings snapped their 5-game losing streak with an impressive 125-116 win at home versus the Lakers on Wednesday night. 29 points for De'Aaron Fox. I had the Kings in the game they played against the Lakers before at plus 6.5, and a pointless 2 foul shots at the end of the game caused me to lose that game. Take it away. And Nutflush says, remember that it's only team total over on Rockets opponents. Yeah, I said that. Don't worry. I know I said that. Take it away here, Derl. Rockets Kings.
I don't care about this damn game either. I really don't. I mean, if you're going to find an angle, you're not going to get any defense here, right? You've got Rashawn Holmes out as well. So you're missing a big. So it's just one of those things. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Tristan Thompson. So this should be a high scoring game. I could see the total going down, but I could see them getting together and just racking up the score in the first half. So looking at the first half over 122.5 could be a look. They've been averaging more points in their last 3 games. Houston's at 61, Sacramento's at 63, I believe. And then they go down considerably in the second half. So if you're going to look at a spot, you might just barely get there. It's too close for comfort for me, if you ask me. So that's why I won't play it. But I was looking at the first half. This is another prop game. You got to corner the market and see what the props are here. Buddy Hield threes. That's going to be a good prop to play. Look, if he's over 5.5 or so, or 4.5 or something like that, that might be a spot, man. That might be a spot to play Buddy Hield. If you have a prop play on Buddy Hield, look at that. Look at some assists on the Sacramento Kings too. Look at the trends there and see there might be some players that you might have that you can get involved and play some props. So for me, I was looking at either the total over the 122.5 first half, but it was just a little too close for comfort. So that's a lean that I have. This is at 239. It's gone down to 237.5. Maybe we'll get a little bit. If I can get this first half to 120, that might be a spot. But I don't think I am. So I'm off this game, and I would look also at Buddy Hield threes.
58% of the tickets on the Kings, 90% of the cash on the Kings, and we have reverse line movement. So tricky to figure that out. 63% of tickets on the over, 60% of cash on the over, and we have reverse line movement there as well. So tricky spot to figure out. And my problem is I see a 239.5, and I immediately just want to go under it. One quarter at 50 points, and that total is in big trouble. So there you have it. Rockets Kings. That's the final game on the NBA slate. We have ITSDerl back in action, and I'm gonna want ITSDerl to double up next week if he can. Darryl, I don't know if you can do Wednesday and Friday next week, but we'd love that. I just wanted to mention that so that I remember. Let's review Darryl's action here. We have Hornets team total over 117 at minus 110. He's got Siakam assists over 5.5 at plus 125.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at the Pacers to bounce back, and the Suns not prepare early and not full game, just to bounce back early. I am. I'm looking at the Pacers first quarter at plus 2, minus 115. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle it. The Sweaty Butcher prime cut is Tobias Harris over 3.5 assists at minus 125. And I do want the Sixers. I do want the Sixers. I don't know if I can pull the trigger. I am going to pull the trigger on the Bulls. I expect to do that. Hawks, Heat, we have stayed off. And I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. Play of the day for Derl is Cavs -3.5 at -106. And for guys who are excited about a 7-game homestand for a Spurs team that's losing basketball games right now, the best thing for us is the Cavs smash them. And then we start. I want to be on the Spurs ahead of the market move, and hopefully that will happen. Spreadsheet play today is the Dallas Mavericks over the Memphis Grizzlies. That's a wildly excited spot.
That's
and we have stayed off the Rockets Kings. Penny bombs. We all cashed last night. We all won last night. It was great. And we want to keep that rolling. Spenny was a big part of it. These are his props. Tatum over 2.5 threes at -115. Brown over 2.5 threes at -105. Embiid over 28.5 points at -125. Hayward under 18.5 points at -125. Mikal Bridges over 1.5 threes -105. OG Anunoby over 2.5 threes at +110. Luka Doncic over 25.5 points at -115. Derl, my man, thank you so much. We've missed you dearly. Follow our guy on Twitter at ITSDerl. Follow him on Twitter. He is a selfless capper and a guy we love very, very much here. And you'll see a lot more of him on Pub Sports Radio. Derl, my guy, go get that cash. Thank you for your insights and your fun and your humor. You make capping so enjoyable. Any last words for the great capper supporting the show?
Glad to be back, man. To all the cappers in the chat, man, appreciate y'all. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the hate. Whatever it is, I appreciate it, man. Happy to be back. Enjoy your weekend. Y'all be easy.
I love it. We're going to double up with Derl next week, Wednesday and Friday. Derl, double up. Derl, double up. All right, we move on to NCAA basketball. And our man, Max, he wanted to freshen the shit up. He wanted to freshen it up. He wanted to give it to you guys. What do you guys want to talk about and roll from there? He gave out ideas and thoughts on every single game that was talked about by the chat, and he made 7 official picks. He won easily with Cal State Fullerton -11. He lost the first half over 65 Washington State Stanford. He cashed the first half over 60.5 in the New Mexico game. He swept the Iowa -2.5 first half and the over 70.5 total in that game. Lost Navy to -2, but easily cashed Butler -1.5, -103. 5-2 plus 2.8 units, and he's back for more action. Please welcome to the show the Cupcake King Maxwell Smart in the house. Maxie, how are you?
Jim, I'm really pissed off right now.
All right,
I'm really pissed off. You want to know why?
Yes, I do.
Because I always hear about how people love you. How people freaking like you make their day, you freaking make a difference in their capping. But why the hell aren't there over 150 retweets for the show today? Why? So I'm pissed off about that. All right.
Well, we love when you have that edge about you because we know you throw potatoes. We know that you despise joggers. There's a lot that we know about you. We know that you use the ladies of the night to take off some of that anger and tension. Maybe it's been a little while since you've had that opportunity, but what we also know is you love making money, Max, and that's what you did last night. Spectacular work here on the show, and we are ready to rock and roll right here. So we are going to get started here with the taint play of the day from our Matty Ice. We want to hear what Max thinks of this spot. I'm going to have to move everything over. I'm not sure how we'll do it because let's just see if the Action Network can do it for us here. We have Michigan, Illinois. Michigan opening up as 7.5-point dogs. It's moved to 10 now at some books. This total here in the Michigan game opened at 145. It's down to 144.5. And the taint play of the day is backing Michigan with the market moving heavily against them. Big spot on the board. Take it away, Max. Let's get rolling. Michigan.
Yeah, listen, from a personnel perspective, Michigan's going to have to rise to the occasion versus Illinois team. I think that having 10 days to stew over their absolute abysmal performance against Rutgers, yeah, you're going to need some really nice performances. And when you have a super quality Canadian who's going to be a lottery pick in Caleb Houston, well, I'm looking at that motherfucker to step up, fuck with his eyes open. And you know what? If he was on Twitter right now, he would retweet the show like a goddamn fucking star. All right? I think that the taint is definitely on the right side when it comes to this spread, just because even though Illinois has a very dominant big man, Hunter Dickinson is no slouch on the other side, and that matchup is going to be critical. If one of those two big men pick up early fouls, we've seen Illinois when Coburn picks up early fouls. They are a completely different team, not as effective or efficient. And when I look at the supporting cast, this is an opportunity for Michigan to buy low on them. And with Devontae Jones and Eli Brooks and that their experience in the backcourt, well, this is the time that it's got to pay out. And I'm looking to bust Gus's freaking checkbook. And I think Michigan's going to do the same to Illinois. As far as the total, Jim, I do think that there is going to be points in this game. I do think that Michigan's going to have to get into the 75-plus range in order to stay within this spread, and that means that Illinois is going to get past probably 80. So I'd be actually looking at their team total over, and with the team total, it's all about the number. You should be line shopping around for it. I think that if you can get between 75 and 77.5, that would be A-okay with me.
There you have it. The Max supporting the taint play today that cashed with Stanford yesterday at plus 7.5. Let's keep rolling. By the way, Max, Fat Wally is on a diet, so he has cut honey mustard out of his life, and he just wants you to know that he's going to cut it out forever.
Congratulations, Fat Wally. That is actually fantastic news, and will give us good karma when we dip our chicken tenders and make sure that they are not only cooked, they are flavor filled, they have volume, flakiness, and of course, when you dip them in that golden honey, everything is Hakuna Matata.
Okay, let's keep rolling. We love when Max talks about his St. Bonaventure Bonnies. And they have a huge rivalry coming to town. VCU St. Bonaventure. The Bonnies opened -2. They're now -2.5. This total opened up at 129. It's gone all the way up to 132 at some books. This game was asked about from C. James and Sammy Culmer. Take it away, VCU Bonnies. Let's roll.
Yeah, listen, I think that with the Bonnies being healthy and VCU being healthy, this is going to be probably the premier matchup. No offense to Michigan and Illinois on my TV screen tonight. I think that with St. Bonaventure, I have to come to the realization that this team just wants to burn my money pregame and wants to earn it all back live. So I'm not betting this game from a side perspective until I start to see the game and see how St. Bonaventure, first off, is shooting the basketball and how their defense is able to keep Ace Baldwin under wraps. With VCU and St. Bonaventure, we have seen St. Bonaventure's defense take a big step backwards than where we thought they were going to be this year. And they're going to have to really be able to score for 40 minutes. Otherwise, they're going to have another Virginia Tech outburst where they lost by, I think, like 30 points. So I don't want to see an embarrassment like that, but I also don't want to see them fall behind like they did against LaSalle. Right now, I understand people betting on VCU. I'm not happy about it, but I understand it. I think that the better way to play this game is to hit the first half over. We've seen St. Bonaventure's defense take a step back, like I said, and we've seen VCU be able to eclipse that 60-point plateau in their game. So it's not out of this world to think that they can get 35 in the first half tonight. I think that the point guard matchup of Ace Baldwin versus Kyle Lofton is definitely going to be on the forefront of personnel matchups. At the end of the day, though, I do think that St. Bonaventure at home and being a team that can come from behind, even though they may put up a lackluster first half, definitely leads me to believe that Bonnies are going to win this game. And maybe there's a little bias into that. Maybe a little biased. I do have an official play though, Jim. I do have an
okay.
official play that I will make. I will take the first half over in this game.
The first half over. So let's see what we can get, Max, here in this Bonnie's spot. Here we go. What the hell's wrong with me?
Should
All right,
be
there we go.
61s. Should be 61s around.
And yeah, okay. I'm gonna keep looking because there's a 62 there. Here we have in this one. Let's see if I can beat that. I know we got to keep moving. I apologize for holding us back. Yeah, 61 at bet 365. That's a minus 115. Let's see if I can get the juice.
I have a 61 at minus 110 at sportbet.com.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, let me just see if possible if it can be beaten by circa first half total 61.5 minus 110. Okay, you have 61 straight flat.
Yeah, 61 minus 110. Yeah.
All right, let's get that to Max is on the board. St. Bonnie's at first half over 61 at minus 110. All right, we're going to keep rocking. We are locked in. And next up for us is another game that C. James looking at. Remember, get your games in here anytime we have Max on the show, which is hopefully every show. We love him. He's going to be getting these from the low baggers in the chat. Monmouth versus St. Peter's is what C. James wants to talk about. This opened with St. Peter's at +5 and the total at 133.5. Right now at bet 365, St. Peter's are now 4-point dogs at home, and this total is bounced up 1 point. What do you think of this spot, Monmouth St. Peter's?
Yeah, I think that with this total going up, it does lead me to believe that a trend that I think is forming with teams coming off the COVID break, being able to really snap into their offense and get right back into the saddle. Monmouth hasn't played since December 22nd. So they're over 3 weeks since they played a basketball game. That may play against them. St. Peter's, on the other hand, has 4 more days that they haven't played since. So both these teams look like they could be candidates to come out rusty. I think that when you look at the numbers with Monmouth, yes, you fall in love with their ATS stats, but why is this line going against them right now? Why isn't it at 6.5 or 7 right now? It reminds me of the Long Beach UC Santa Barbara game that I unfortunately stepped into the bear trap on. However, I think that the better value with this game is looking under. I think that with this line going up to 135 or 135.5, there's more value taking them. When I go through game logs and I think about those teams that you can sell points on their totals, Monmouth is one of them. And we've seen Monmouth in this point range have their game stay under by almost 30 points. So I think that we're going to definitely see some rust from these two squads, and I think that their defense is going to be ahead of their offense, and I like the under full game.
Full game under. Let's see what we can. Oh, by the way, Dan Kelly found you a 60.5 at Bookmaker for that first half over. So shout out to Dan Kelly, and let's keep rolling here. Let's see what we can get you in this spot. Let's see if Pinnacle will come to your. And that's moved to 3.5, by the way. So the under here is 134.5 at minus 108. Are we looking for a 135?
I have a 135 that I just refreshed in front of me that I am ready to bet as we do the show.
Perfect. Okay. And I'm just going to look. Oh, 135.5 at circa.
Even better.
Okay. So St. Peter's under 135.5 at minus 109. That is available right now at circa. So let's keep rolling. And Dan Kelly says I'd be worried about Max if he wasn't pissed off. He wants you pissed off. He also
doesn't want me pissed on. So
yeah, no, he cares. He cares about you. He wants just the best for all.
I read that comment, Jim. I read that comment.
He wants the best for all of us.
Me.
He wants to put it best for all of us. Also, Luke Murphy says cupcakes and ladies of the night and chicken tenders, a healthy lifestyle. Luke Murphy is an esteemed author. Type Luke Murphy into your Google. Check out some of his novels that he's written. I think that we could have a Maxwell Smart novel coming in the future.
I will also say this, Luke. I do play softball for about 5 months a year. So even though it's classified as a girls' sport, I still do get out and play a bunch. So once college basketball is done, I will start to live a normal life.
Let's move on from Max's girl sports. He plays it like a man, though. Akron versus Kent is the final game that C. James wants discussed here. I'm not going to get a line movement. Sadly, they're annoying. Akron versus Kent. Let's see what Pinnacle is holding for us here. We have Akron sitting as 1.5 point dogs. This total at 133.5. Take it away. We talked about golden showers. Now let's talk about the golden flashes. Max, what do you think of this spot?
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to the Akron Zips, this is a team that I think that with Aaliyah Lee and Enrique Freeman have a solid scoring tandem in the front court and definitely can win them and keep them in games. However, I do think that when they go on the road, especially in conference with a familiar scheme coming at them and going against them, I just don't think that they have the same kind of value. This is a game where Sincere Carey and Malik Jacobs are going to need to lead and carry Kent State. They have been absolutely off, and this is an opportunity, I think, to buy low on them. I would have had Kent State as a 4.5 point favorite, and with a significant discount on them on the spread, I'm all about them. Defense will carry over. Defense will win. I think that this is an under game also. It's just all about what we get early on in the first half. This game is more interesting to me as a first half under. And that's really the way that I'm looking at it. I think that Kent State's going to win the game. And I do think that 62.5, I'd like the 63, but if 62.5 is what's available, I do think that we skate under it by the skin of our teeth.
All right, because it's down to 62 at Pinnacle. Let me see if I can beat that here at Circa. They just helped us last time. Let's see if they help us again. They're at 62 as well. Let's see what Bet365, could they help us here? We're going to move on from this, but let's just take a look. They have 62.5. You see 63 anywhere?
No, I don't.
Okay, you're getting the minus 105 at least. So we'll go. You want to make that first half official?
Yes, I do.
Akron, Kent State, first half under 62.5. Low vig at minus 105. All right, let's keep rolling. Brad Hunt says Kent gets golden showers tonight. Kent State, Akron, Kent State, first half under 62.5. And Dan T says if we don't support the ladies of the night, then who will? You ask all the right questions.
That's absolutely right. I'll tell you also, Dan T, the ladies of the night live lavish lifestyles. They wear silk underwear 7 days a week. That is not cheap. We have to come through with the do-re-mi for them.
The do-re-mi. Okay, let's move on. Bill McDonald, as always, supporting the show. We love you, Bill McDonald. He's got a couple spots he wants to ask you about. Let's start with this Davidson spot. See if okay, here we go. We're starting to get these games up. Beautiful. Okay. Davidson opening up as 1 point favorites. They're now plus 1.5 at books. There is a +1 out there as well. This total opened up at 143.5 and is shot all the way up to 147.5 at some books. Davidson, Richmond, are the Spiders live here? What do you think of the spot?
Oh, I think that the Wildcats are the spot here. They've shown that they can go out on the road in conference and win. I love the combination that they have in the front court with Luka Brachovic and Sam Menenga. I think that when you look at their scoring tandem of Hae-Jung Lee and freaking Foster Loyer is a guy that I've been making jokes about for a long time now. I can't say shit about him except that he is a true scorer, and Tom Izzo's probably freaking punching himself in the face right now. I think that with this group, they have to get off to a good start. They've shown that they've been able to really get out to a good lead, hit their shots from the 3-point line early, and with them shooting and making 10 3-points a game or more, that's something that if you can bring that out on the road like they have been, it can eliminate your need for more attempts at the free throw line. But if you put any of these guys on the free throw line, they're going to hit 75%. I think that with Richmond, they're going to have to be able to get really good ball facilitation from Jacob Gilliard, and they're going to have to create turnovers with their half-court defense. If they can't do that and keep Davidson out of rhythm, Davidson's going to win this game, and Davidson's going to show why they are definitely the premier team over Richmond in the A10.
Just a couple of games left. We are going to ask Max about. First, I had it up here. I think it was Bill. Bill was asking, do you think Nebraska is live as 20-point dogs at Purdue today, Max?
I'm not looking to back Nebraska in the first half. I think that full game would have more appeal to me. I do think that Purdue obviously is capable of routing someone in conference. Just want to see it with my own eyes first. If you gave me a free bet, I would take 20, or I would take 20.5 with Nebraska. 20
or 20.5. And then the very last game we will ask Maxwell Smart about. Remember, join us here Tuesday through Friday, and Max is just taking questions now, and it's added a lot to the show. Is James S. It's the Ohio spot. Let me get it up here. Do we have it? I don't have it there. Okay, so let's just move over to what Pinnacle is holding this at. Can't give you line moves on this. Jeez, I can't.
Which game are you looking for?
Oh yeah, what's he saying? He's saying Ohio versus Central Michigan. I don't even have it.
That's not even today.
That's not today.
Yeah.
Okay, well then let's not end with that. Let's ask, I want to finish with a bit of a bang. Does the Fresno State UNLV game interest you at all, Max? Or would you rather shut it down with Siena Marist?
Let's talk Fresno UNLV just because we've had an interesting line move.
All right, let's do it right now. This opened up with UNLV as a home favorite slight, and it has flipped. Fresno State is now a road favorite. We see plus 1.5s on the board, and we see this very low total of 126 shoot up to 130.5. Fresno State, UNLV. This will be the last game that we break down here on the card with Maxwell Smart. Take it away. Last game, UNLV, Fresno State.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely some offensive regression to come in this game. I don't think that Donovan Williams and Orlando Robinson, Isaiah Hill are going to put up the types of numbers that they put up last time. I think that with this total, it's just a wait and see and how high it will go and then hitting the under. And I did talk to the Master Jedi of unders. He does approve, and he's trying to get me not to bet as many overs. So this will be a game that I don't bet the over on. I am waiting patiently, and it's 11 p.m. Eastern game, so lots of time to watch and study it. I think that at the end of the day, though, UNLV is going to have that home court advantage. It's just a matter of, are they going to get that six-man production from Mike Nuga off the bench? Is Bryce Hamilton going to be Bryce Hamilton, or is he going to be inefficient and a ball hog? I think that UNLV has the talent and personnel to beat them at home. I just also worry about this line flipping. Maybe the odds makers know something I don't, which is sometimes the case.
There you have it from Maxwell Smart. He's got St. Bonnie's VCU first half over 60.5 at minus 110. He's in the St. Peter's game under 135.5 at minus 109. And Akron Kent State first half under 62.5 at minus 105. Coming off a 5-2 plus 2.8 unit return to the show. He was just adding winners to our show yesterday. Max, my man, thank you so much for rolling with us. You can catch him Monday through Friday on NCAA Net Profits at 5 p.m. Eastern. Max, thank you for sharing your hard work with us, my guy. Any last words for the great Capper supporting the show?
Yeah, listen, chat, Jimmy works so goddamn hard for us. The minimal thing we can do is click a goddamn button, retweet the show, and just put it on the background, even if you're freaking not there in the chat. Let's help Jimmy. Let's support Jimmy. Let's thank our guy for the years of hard work that he's done. And let's not just freaking thank him once a year. Let's thank him every goddamn day by showing up and supporting the show. That's what I care about most, and that's what makes it a pleasure for me to come on, spend time with you guys, and spend time with the great Jimmy the Bag. So let's have a good day. Let's get those winners. 137 game card on Saturday. Fucking with your eyes open. 101 Pub Sports Radio style, baby. Peace.
Oh, I love it. There he is, Maxwell Smart. What a guy. He is too kind. He's too kind. Follow him on Twitter at CBMS420. He made 3 official picks here on this show. It's a small card. Had 7 for us yesterday. Just doing a hell of a job. Let's review the entire action here. And let's see, has it changed? Are they still minus 600? I'm trying not to get. I can understand what Birdie was saying. I really, really can. I can understand what Birdie was saying. Like, let's not try to reach to find this when we see a minus 600 and it's ridiculous. But there's a reason why the Coyotes have won 2 of 3, and are a team without their captain, Gabe Landeskog, at minus 600 is ridiculous. Now, I don't need to force it. Jared TG says this show is part of my life and daily routine. Much love to you. Good, my guy. Thank you so much for the kind words, my man. All right, so the spreadsheet play today is on the Minnesota Wild from Ron Crawford, and I want the Coyotes to be on my card today. I was not impressed with the Avalanche's last game. I don't see this as a game they're going to get up for. And they don't have their captain out there. He'd at least take it on the -1, right? Then let's go over Spenny Pennybaum's prop action. He's on Tatum and Brown, both over 2.5 threes. The Tatum prop is more juiced. He's on Embiid over 28.5 points, -125. Gordon Hayward under 18.5 points, -125. Mikal Bridges over 1.5 threes at -105. Anunoby over 2.5 threes at +110. And Luka the Don over 25.5 points at -115. Our man Derl moved on the Hornets team total over 117 at -110, and I get it. I'm going to take a closer look. Now, I can't get that number. It's kind of held me back a little bit from being certain that I would jump on it. Siakam assists over 5.5 at +125. I am going to move on the Pacers first quarter. I think that the Suns show no urgency. I also have interest in the under, so I'm going to spend some time on that after the show. The Sweaty Butcher gave us the prime cut. Tobias Harris over 3.5 assists at -125. And I think the Sixers bounce back here. I want the Sixers. I know that you watch the Celtics play, you watch Tatum and Brown play, and they've been looking so good lately. And look, you can, romanticize what you're seeing. But the Sixers went on that big winning streak. They lose a game, and Embiid puts it all on his shoulders, and now they're at home here, and you're getting 3.5 points. The Celtics are a tricky team to fade. I get it. But I think I'm going to move on them. And I'm going to move on the Bulls, too. It's just so much counting against the Warriors right now. Yeah, maybe Seth goes off, and he probably does without Clay on the floor, and he probably takes it upon himself to do that. And maybe I should look at his props, but I've been working so hard to stay away from player props. Atlanta, Miami off. The Darryl, I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. Play today's Cavs -3.5 at -106. Foxy says Grizzlies game got me thinking whether to leave it. Spreadsheet play of the day for Ron Crawford is the Dallas Mavericks. There's Polo this, Polo that in the house. Love you, dude. You've always had my back. Respect, man. Thank you for jumping in the chat. Then Rockets Kings. I can understand why there are people trying to get underneath this ridiculously high number, and I'm probably not going to do it. And we've watched Nutflush Allen cash nonstop team totals against the Rockets, and the Kings are live here for another one. Matty Ice is on Michigan +9.5. That is the taint play of the day. Then from college basketball for Maxwell Smart, St. Bonnie's VCU first half over 60.5 at -110. St. Peter's under 135.5 at -109. Akron Kent State first half under 62.5 -105. There was a lot of winning yesterday right across the board. I don't remember really all of us winning like that. And we know how much the losers hurt, so it feels good that we're coming off a great day. We put some more money in our accounts. Now let's do it again. Let's do it again, baby. Thank you guys so much for your support. I'm feeling better every day, And just so thankful to cap with you guys. We got Pistol Pete Loshak, Mr. Gokes. They're going to be with us on Tuesday. Trot Wham going to be back in action. We're just back in action Tuesday through Friday. Then we have our NFL show that we moved to Wednesday nights. Don't forget Razor Sharp Horse Racing show tonight, Friday night. Don't forget about that. But most importantly, right. Sorry. Jose, that was not my plan. Not my plan. It is wild card week. And, we've cashed 9 out of the last 10 weeks. It's been very good, but season long record-wise, not where I want it to be. And I don't know how that's possible when you cash 9 out of 10 weeks. I still haven't moved on anything. I'm very close to moving on the Eagles plus 8.5, the Niners plus 3, and the Raiders plus 5.5. That are all still available. And maybe I do that today. And maybe Jose pushes us in that direction or in a direction. So let's bring Jose back onto the show. He's been excellent of late. He's done so much for us. And he is pride of Venezuela. Please welcome to the show, Jose Bouquet. Jose, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I forgot how that feels. It's been a while since that happened to me, and I forgot how that feels. So now I'm back. We're officially back now.
Oh, man. Well, let me ask you this. How are you going to get us sweet leche?
That startled me. I'm not going to lie. First we'll start off with, I really understood the breakdown we had on the NFL Pub Hub this week. By the way, on Wednesday now, new times. Remember that Wednesday is at 7? Wednesday at 7?
Central, 8 Eastern,
yes. Yep. 7 Central, 8 Eastern. I live on that Central time. Sorry, everyone. And I'm going to take Eagles plus 8.5. I like the Eagles. I think they can win outright. That's why I'm taking them spread. I'm not going to take a money line. I am up over like 13 units on the year. Not a big deal, whatever. I could push a little bit, but I'm going to try to stay humble. I think the 8.5, I think it will be a closer game than expected. Hopefully the Eagles have the good sense to run away from Vita Vea, so they'll run on the outside, and we'll see what happens.
You do have some options now. The 9 is minus 116. The 9.5 is minus 120. The 8.5 is minus 112. But I'm sure I'll find you a minus 110. Do you want to climb the ladder, or do you like the 8.5?
I'll take the 8.5 minus 110 and our friends at Bodog.
All right, you got it. 8.5 minus 110.
Do I sound Canadian when I say Bodog?
No, you don't. No, you don't. I don't miss your Canadian impressions at all. I don't miss them at all. Jose did a great job editing together our big show on Wednesday night. So every game you click on, it's on our YouTube page right now. We'll give you official picks from all sorts of different cappers. We had 6 different cappers on the show, on our Wednesday show, and we'll continue to do that. There's Dennis Garcia giving you the love that you deserve. And Damon Santori says, Bucks fan here, and Eagles 8.5 is the play. And Ron Walsack says, Tampa Bay weather update. No rain for the game. Fairly strong winds, end zone to end zone, from our Ron Walsack, whom we love dearly.
Well, I hope it is strong winds, though. I really hope it is strong winds, because if Jalen Hurts throws the ball over 30 times, then we're going to have a bad time. By the way, I have another play for you, too, by the way.
Oh, you do. Everybody just wants me to pull you off the screen. That's all. They're all just hoping that I'll just wait till you're waxing poetic and just pull you off the screen. But we
again, you give me PTSD. You give me. Look at your arm right now. Right there, that position. You're cocked and loaded. I'm scared.
What's your next look? Jose, Eagles plus 8.5 minus 110. What else are you looking at?
I think this one's a little ballsier. I'm not 100% sure. I ask you sometimes on the ticket breakdowns for certain things, but I'm going to take the Chiefs-Steelers game under 46. I typically don't do totals. I'm not a math guy. I don't like adding up the numbers during a game and stressing about it. But I think that, the Steelers might hang in this game, unfortunately. I really don't want the Steelers to win this game. I don't want this to be close. But TJ Watt is a game wrecker. He's everything that he's advertised. The Chiefs offensive line, they put resources into it, but it's still not the greatest thing ever. I think the Steelers' defensive line could eat them up. Gives the Chiefs some problems. The problems are relative to the Chiefs because they'll eventually figure it out, score like 20-some points. And I don't think the Steelers can score over 20 points. So I understand the Chiefs' defense has been pretty shitty as of late. They had their little moment of being good, but I think Big Ben's the shitty quarterback they need to hold them under here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 28-0, pretty comfortable win for the Chiefs, and we get an under 46 there.
Under 46, available -109. I've never heard a capper lamenting the difficulty of adding up the score during the game in my life, Jose.
Well, I'm built different, Jimmy. So
yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And by the way,
yeah,
I forgot. I'm sorry for keeping interrupting you. I had no idea who Jay Dilla is. No idea. Whoever the other person was that you said.
Yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me. You're not building a ton of points here in this segment here. Jose's new phrase is "Stay hungry, stay humble, and don't count." Those are his new phrases here. Jose's on the Eagles +8.5 at -110. Pittsburgh KC under 46 at -109. And you have had a tremendous career here at betting with the bag. Tremendous career. We should figure out at some point, because I thought maybe starting the new year, should we roll everybody over into a new thing? And I was like, I don't know if we should.
I'll be honest, Jim. I thought about that too during the show. I was thinking about, these are the random thoughts I have during the show. Do we roll it over for the new year? Do we keep it a career record? I don't know. It might just be another column added onto your spreadsheet, 2022 records and such. But no, I like my plus 13 units, and that's something I can tell everyone to suck my ass with. So maybe not.
That's not something that's done much, ass sucking, felching, if as it were.
Felching? That's the new word.
Yeah, we'll teach you about that. Enjoy that after the show.
In March.
That'll help your random thoughts here.
Okay.
But, Jose, you've been excellent, and you deserve all the accolades. You're on Eagles +8.5 -110. Pittsburgh, Kansas City under 46 at -109. I'm thinking of joining you with the Eagles. I'm thinking of taking the Eagles and Niners and Raiders all at plus points. And I've been hesitant, and I think maybe it's time to pull the trigger. All right.
I'm right there with you on the Raiders, by the way. I was close to taking the Raiders in this segment as well. However, I'm trying not to fall in love with them like you are, with their whole story, bounce back, all that stuff. I'm trying to stay a little more reserved, and I can see the Bengals just pimp slapping them and the Raiders just being happy to make the playoffs.
And I've begun to think more about this comment you had. I think that adding the scores together wouldn't make you a math guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think that if you like sports, you look at the scores. And, give me some more time on this. But I think we have your merch here, right?
I'm not a math guy.
I don't like adding the scores together. That'll be, yeah.
That's facts. I mean, I'll be honest. That's why I don't do it.
All right. There we have Jose Bouquet on our show. He's on the Eagles +8.5 and Pittsburgh, Kansas City under 46. Okay. I'm just so happy to be back. So thankful to be back. Feeling better every day. Can't wait to be back on Tuesday. I'll be ready to fucking rock. Pistol Pete Loshak will be with us, and we'll just build. 2022 is just going to keep getting better. And we're all going to party together in San Antonio. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. Jared TG says, I understand that in basketball, but football it's very easy. Come on. It's It's just very easy. It's just it's math. It's addition. We're not even talking complicated. But Jose is he's an original man with there's no one like him. That's why it's so much fun to work. And he works hard and does a great job producing the show. On behalf of all of us at Pop Sports Radio, thank you guys so much for your support. Damon Santori, Jerry TG, Remos T, Nutflush Allen, Ryan Scahill, Mark Schillingberg, Dan T, Foxy, Bill McDonald, Sean Thug, who says Jay Dilla changed my life. Yeah, man. God. He's elite. He's maybe he's top 5 For sure in my life, top 5 producer in my life. Nut Flush Allen, thank you. All you guys, Ron Walsek, thank you guys for your support. Mark Unkefer, BT. And there's Ian Cameron right there. Says, good to see you, Jimmy. We love you. Ian Cameron, Polo this, Polo that, North Ender. All you guys, Slatsy, Birdie. Let's have a great, great weekend. And let's continue the glory that we set up yesterday. Let's keep cashing, keep cashing, keep cashing. Let's go. Let's have ourselves a day. On behalf of all of us, thank you guys. Leche. Hey, those bookmakers!